What's up, guys? Last intro video, and we're going to get started here. Like the stream, share the link, leave a comment in the live chat. Pour yourself a drink, grab yourself some popcorn. Roll yourself up a doobie, whatever it is, get her done, get ready. Right, party's time. Grab your beef jerky, your grape juice, your slice of pizza, whatever you fancy. Welcome, internet friends. Adam Green here with No More News. Thank you for joining me today, Monday, August 17th, 2026. I got a case of the Mondays. How about you? I'm feeling I'm going to be a Monday madman. We're starting off today. Let's see. 69 beats per minute. We'll see what we can get ourselves up to today. How mad king we can go. This is ChatGPT's rendition of King Arthur, by the way. descendants, actual descendants. I don't know why the meter's at 80, actually. I just restarted it, so maybe we got some super chats in or something. First, I'm so happy to see this. As I always say, not enough podcasters online willing to give a platform to Christians willing to expose the demons out there. About time a big podcaster like Tucker Carlson brings on a guest to expose more demons. This is what we got today. Reverend Billy on spiritual warfare. We're not going to watch any of this right now, though. We're going to maybe get some clips and cover that tomorrow. But just like I always say, more demons. We got to have more Christians exposing the demons. Finally, Tucker will talk about the demons. The most important issue of our age is this spiritual warfare, these satanic demon Baal worshipers, and how Jesus is the solution to everything. Finally. Yeah, Amalek, we do need some clips of that if there's any highlights in it. Spiritual warfare from Russia, right. We do have some clips from Roseanne. Rabbi Roseanne sat down with Rabbi Tovia Singer. Let's see some of that. Clipped up by Amalek. Appreciate that, Amalek, who's in the chat.
And have happened. They're not only wrong, but they're evil. So the very
these Goyim are evil, the evil darkness. We're also going to get into a bunch of other stuff today, a little bit of the Candace stuff. Everybody's favorite topic, the only issue that matters, demons and Charlie Kirk conspiracies. It's what sucked out all the oxygen out of the internet, total distraction.
And have happened. They're not only wrong, but they're evil. So the very foundation of their religion, their own source, they're trying to destroy that too.
Right.
As they are so hoodwinked, they are so bamboozled by this, it's a foundation built on sand that can't stand for long. And I think we're seeing the evidence of that too all over the place. And I think we're going to see more of it. We're going to see Babylon fall. Some of it.
Oh, America. More America as Babylon, and Babylon's going to fall. Who did we just play the other day? Was it Rick Wiles saying we were Babylon and we got to be destroyed by God? She's talking about the satanic elites. Thank you, Amalek.
I just believe, that we have seen it, but, we have to, as a witness people, we have to talk about what we witness, and we have to talk about reality.
Why does she have a witch behind her? She's like, this was my great grandma, witch bar witch.
And how reality in the world is unfolding exactly as God said it would at the time God said it would. And to have anybody who professes to have a connection to the God of Abraham say that God didn't know what he was talking about, but we
Let's
do.
go.
I mean, how can they? How do they?
Thank you.
How do they? How do they look at it?
CQ Stone. Thank you.
An overdue payment to Adam Green and friends for his tireless work of great importance.
Thank you, CQ Stone. Appreciate that. Owl's cool.
Owls are cool. Sent $5 every time I see Rosen.
Yeah,
I
Tucker.
always think about that clip
They
of her running her
eat
mouth off about the
babies.
elites eating babies and the Christian crowd cheering for it. These
Yep.
people are sick in the head. Hate it, but
Yep.
according to prophecies, evil has to happen.
Yeah, they need their evil and they need their satanic antichrist, and the Jews need all the goyim turning against them because of my prophecies. I'm so sick of like lunatics like Roseanne, mentally ill schizos like Roseanne being like the intellectual thought leaders.
The mirror and not be afraid. How do they do that and then talk about fear of God? I don't think they really have any fear of God to insult him, taunt him, and degrade him all the time, and his words, which are their source too.
Nope,
I
not
don't
me.
get it. It's some kind of horrible mind control. I mean, I do think that it is.
Dude, Funny. Two rabbis complaining about mind control. Hypocrisy at its finest.
What we call the Sitra Achra, the dark side.
Dude, straight up calling us the Sitra Achra now. Evil, dark, goyim souls. Happened. Hating the chosen divine sparks of light Jews' souls for no reason. Oh, what? I thought I had more of her. There is some more. I've got to go to Amalek's page. But while I go look for that, we got See Through It All posting more from ultra-Zionist of the UK, Melanie Phillips, again threatening the West. Be Christian, support Israel, or you're going to be destroyed. Be Noahides and righteous Goyim, or you will be destroyed by Yahweh. Never heard that one before.
The West, in turning against the Jews, has turned against the Jewish part of itself because Jewish values lie at the very bottom, the very core of Western civilization. No. And it's turning against goodness in favor of evil, and it will destroy itself. It's already destroying itself. It's dying out. It's not having babies. It's not replacing itself as a culture.
Crazy how this ultra-Zionist woman has the same talking points as the Ortho Bros and the Trad Cats and these Christians we debate.
Hassan Piker is grateful to Candace and glad that people are blaming Israel for Kirk because it takes the heat off the radical left.
Yeah, we're going to play that clip later on in the Candace segment.
And
obviously,
it's now going to tear itself apart. It's setting group against group inside itself because it's denied all the values that have kept the West together and kept the Western cultural show on the road. So,
and also, by the way, when can we sign up for Nancy Mace's OnlyFans? She's posting all these from some former congresswomen go straight from Congress to taking money to say happy birthday or to have a Rumble podcast. I think she's going straight to OnlyFans with all of her tattoos she's been showing off recently. And I'm kidding. I hope nobody is signed up for OnlyFans.
In Israel, Israel is fighting and it will win and it will survive and it will become a regional power and I think the leader of the free world, actually, because Britain has departed from any claim to stand for anything good now. And America is riven. Okay, we've got President Trump, who is, a loose cannon, to put it mildly. America is riven down the middle, really, divided down the middle between people who want the West to survive, want America to survive as a Western nation, people who don't. So, that's sort of work in progress.
Crazy how these Jews are going to constantly say blah, blah, blah about the West and ignore what all the rabbis say about Edom. We have I saw See Through It All made like a 30-minute compilation of rabbis talking about the destruction of Edom. He made it for Alex Jones. I don't know if he's going to do a stream or something covering that or what the deal is, but we're going to watch some of that too. Is this a real bookshelf or is this looks like green screen bookshelf?
We don't know how that's going to end. But America, nevertheless, has basically abdicated its role, very noisily abdicated its role as leader of the free world. President Trump says, don't care about Europe anymore, has to look after itself. We only care about America. Okay. So, where's the leader of the free world? It's Israel. Israel is fighting Iran on its own at the moment.
Israel's
it's
leading
been defended
the free
by
world.
America. Sure.
How about that?
It needs that. Absolutely. But it took the risk. It is paying with its own Israeli blood for the fight that it's waging on.
What are you talking about? We're fighting the war in Iran for you. And then they go, oh, America's not the leader of the free world. We are. I can't believe the gaslighting on this. Do they really see the world like this? Or are they consciously lying? There's no telling.
On behalf of the free world, on behalf of itself, obviously, but on behalf of the free world, against an Iran that threatens the free world. Israel is paying in its own blood for this. The West, America is not, Britain is certainly not, France is certainly not. And Israel is going to become literally the leader.
Yeah, they've openly said they're not sending their own troops. They got us to bomb Iran, and then Netanyahu's like, we're not a part of this. We're staying out of this.
The leader of freedom in the world as a result of this, and the West is going to continue to tear itself apart because it has taken the side of evil against good.
The arrogance. We've taken the side of Iran. What is she talking about? We're Israel's biggest supporters and backers, and they're sitting up here lying like we haven't helped them all along and fighting this war for them and doing all these bombings. Our B-2 bombers bombing Iran's nuclear facilities is us joining with the dark side. Yeah, we're not tearing ourselves apart. It's being done to us by people like her, right, Pagan? But this woman is the worst. The worst. Crazy. Here's one more of Tovia and Rabbi Roseanne.
Of the Church, of the Roman Catholic Church, which was then later, unfortunately, borrowed by others, and the Nazis borrowed as well. From Adolf Hitler was baptized into the Roman Catholic religion. I want to get to the brass tacks of it all, and that is that the Church Fathers, whom the Roman Catholic Church reveres, insisted that Jews would never return back to the land of Israel. I instead of just revisiting all the councils of the church that said the most deplorable thing about the Jews, I want to focus on what really matters here. Let's take Augustine, 4th, 5th century, Bishop of Hippo. In the Roman Catholic Church, he is the most revered of all the church fathers. He, in his magnum opus called The City of God, which he began writing in 413, it's a 22-volume work that he wrote, I think took about 13 years to write it all. The key point that you, the viewer, must get into your head is he said, addressing a question. The question he was addressing, if the Jews are no longer chosen, but rejected by God for killing Christ, then why are they still here? That's what he's addressing in the City of God. Now,
and this is why Christians have to cope so hard and say, it's a secular state of Israel, or it's Zionism, not Judaism, or they secretly worship Baal, or they're not the real Jews, or if Christians are the new Israel, but Jews having the state of Israel again, that's a problem for them because they're fulfilling their prophecies. So they go, oh, it's not real prophecy, but it is satanic prophecies. That means Christianity's true.
Another issue, but that's not germane to our conversation. And he concludes that the reason why God has preserved the Jews is to be a witness people. That means that we have to be here for all eternity so the world would see what happens to a nation that not only rejects Jesus, but conspired and killed Jesus, killed God, committed the unimaginable act of deicide. And therefore, Augustine. So what I'm doing is I'm steelmanning this. I'm taking Augustine. Every one of you heard of him. He writes it's the largest apologetic work in the ancient world. In it, he writes, and therefore the Jews must live throughout time in a degraded state. And here's the caveat, Roseanne, that you're referring to. They can never return back to the land of Israel. They can never have sovereignty in the Holy Land. They can never go back to Jerusalem. And this is what's bothering the world. When you talk about why is the world going nuts, the reason is that Chrysostom, another very important church father, he was the Archbishop of Constantinople, talking about Augustine, to all of them, Irenaeus, Ignatius, it doesn't matter. We can go through all the church fathers said the Jews could never return, that Jerusalem must be destroyed completely, and it's the Temple Mount that says a churban, which means an utter destruction, shows that Christianity is true and Judaism is now false. It is rejected by God, and therefore, and this is
every time Tovia talks, it sounds like he's got a mouthful of saliva and spit. That's what it sounds like to me. I cannot stand listening to him. He takes forever. He talks forever to say anything.
The part you've got to wrap your frontal lobe around. The restoration of the Jews to their land, the restoration of Jerusalem to the hands of the children of Israel, that there should be an independent state of Israel, that it's a nation state of the Jewish people in Christian theology is impossible, and therefore Israel must be destroyed, or they have to leave the church and join the Jewish people. That's what's really going on here. Now, again, a very important caveat. There are many Christians today who really do love Israel. I want to be very clear about that. There are in the United States roughly...
Yeah, Christians today think God is real because the Jews returned to Israel. Yeah, it must be a sin to swallow their saliva. Yeah, Augustine's witness people theology is means that built into Christianity that Jews have to survive until the end of times. Jews following Judaism can't go away. They have to be protected. They have to persist until the end times. So built into Christianity is a shield ensuring the survival of Judaism. Let's see the latest from Rick Wiles, clipped up by See Through It All. Is this based, guys? Let me know. Is this based Christian right here? Based Christian rhetoric?
By the president's declaration, he has declared Judaism to be a protected, federally protected nationality. All right. So can Christianity be declared a nationality?
How about Islam?
We're part of a holy nation.
No.
Right? I'm a new Jew. I really believe this. I'm not saying this to be fun. If you understand the Christian faith, the real Jews are the Christians.
Yes.
Regardless of their physical race. Our hearts are circumcised, not our physical bodies. That's what makes you a true Jew. It's not your physical body. It is not your DNA. It's not your heritage. It is that you've been born again. You've been made a new creature in Christ. And then you are a true, real Jew. So,
damn, based. All these Christians, hey, at least Rick's being honest here. It bothers me, the Christians online, the e-crusaders that want to deny this. Deny that they think they're the true Jews with their circumcised hearts and brains. So base, dude. We're the true Jews now. We're going to defeat the Jews by becoming the Jews. We're going to defeat the Moshiach by bowing down to the Moshiach. Wannabe Jews. Hey, if you don't want to bow down to the King of the Jews and be a wannabe Jew, maybe you're a Jew. We're going to call you a Jew online. Crazy. Jews 2.0? Neo-Jews? Yep.
I am sincerely, deeply of the religious belief that I am a Jew in Christ. Am I a member of this nationality? Can I express my nationality, my Jewishness? Do I qualify, Doc? Do I qualify for legal protection?
Or do you have to pass some sort of Jew test?
I don't know. I just passed it. My Bible,
you just say Christ is King, and that's your Jew test. You become a Jew.
New Testament Bible says I'm a Jew.
Dude, I love it. I love it. Hey, Christians, this is your base Christian leader at 47 likes. The e-crusaders are like, la, 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 la. We're based in red pilled. Hey, become a spiritual Jew or you're a Jew. Oh, man, it's so annoying. Where's that other clip? That's a real Christian right there. A real Christian is a spiritual Jew. Thank you. Thank you, Rick. I'm going to download that one. That's a keeper.
Maxed Out Bear sent $20 on
Thank
Rumble.
you, Maxed Out Bear.
Circumcised hearts have a lower risk of cardiac.
Cardiac? Why is that blurred out? Cardiac smegma. Yeah. Circumcise my heart, God.
The words you expressed, Roseanne, are in Tanakh, are in the Hebrew Bible, and I ask you, the viewer, to look up Isaiah 43, verse 10, where it refers to the Jewish people in Hebrew, Atem Eidai Nom Hashem. You are my witnesses, declares Lord. Avdi Asher B'chorti, my servant, chosen, so you should know, believe, and understand that before me no God was formed, neither will there be one after me. Verse 11, even I am Lord, and besides me there is no other Savior. And I hope they hear that at the Vatican. Moreover, we're told in Zechariah chapter 8, verse 23, it's the last passage of that numinous chapter.
By the president.
At the end of days, 10 Gentiles of different languages will grab the shirt of a Jew and say, Nelcho imochem, let us go with you, kishamanu, because we have heard that God is with you. That's amazing. That means if you, I know this will surprise you,
That's
but
amazing.
if you, the viewer, just type in Zechariah 8:23.
All the goy will worship our God. It's amazing.
And it doesn't matter which translation you use. It will say that the Gentiles will come to the Jews at the end of the days and will admit that now we know God is with you. Teach us about God. Now, if we're wrong about the doctrine of the Trinity, if we're wrong about transubstantiation, if we're wrong about the Messiah, if we're wrong about the Eucharist, then why would the non-Jews be coming to the Jews at the end of the days? Now, I've heard some people go, well, come to a Jew, that's Jesus. No, it's not, because it's in the plural. So in the English you can't tell if it's one or many unless you're in Texas or whatever, in Louisiana, where they go y'all. So, but in Hebrew,
hey, y'all,
right? So in Brooklyn, we didn't have y'all where I grew up. It's hard to tell from my British accent. Yeah, Brooklyn was a different situation. When I grew up in Brooklyn, we had problems, but when they said the neighborhood was going downhill, they didn't mean it literally. But as it turns out, if you go back to Tanakh, it's very clear that the nations will come to the Jews and say, now we know that God is with you. Teach us about God. And we are, in fact, not all the Jews. I'm not talking about the Senator Bernie Sanders, okay? And if you want to sue me, let him sue me. Or whatever. Well, that Bernie Sanders or the luminaries from Ben and Jerry's, whatever. Okay? When we're talking about the Jews, when Tanakh's talking about, it's not talking about every Jew on the planet, okay? It's not talking about Karl Marx. It's talking about those who are loyal, those who are devoted. See Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 12 through 16. It's those who are devoted to Hashem's Torah, full stop, period.
But there's a lot of different.
Look at this. I noticed what Harrison said. He says, working for Alex Jones is the greatest setup a man like me can ask for. Literally, the only thing I have to consider is, will our audience like this? So your audience captured by your audience. Your audience loves Trump and is Christians. Well, you're going to shill for Trump and shill Jesus. Audience captured. Do you think I think about like, I should only say things that my audience might like. I want to reach the widest amount of people. I want to cast the biggest net without offending anybody. Oh, my audience wants me to say that Israel killed Charlie Kirk. Well, I guess I'll say it's a conspiracy. Whatever I can do to please the audience. Right, Harrison? And our audience really only cares about, is this true? Yeah, right. So in effect, my only incentive is to tell the truth. No, your audience thinks that a magical Jewish superhero is true. So all you think about is, will your audience like this? Update on the new Jewish woman, the Jewish Zionist, not just Jewish, Orthodox, observant Orthodox Jewish Zionist woman elected as first Jewish president of the Catholic Biblical Association. Let's see some of these clips people are sharing of her.
So I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Messianic Jew. I do not worship Jesus as Lord and Savior. And for me, the New Testament is not sacred scripture. I will argue, I hope convincingly, or at least I'm convinced, that not all the comments the gospel writers attribute to Jesus were spoken by him. I think they added some things. My bias or my agenda is in part to help Christians stop making Jewish practice and belief look bad in order to make Jesus look good. So I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Messianic Jew. I do not worship Jesus as Lord and Savior. And for me...
That's who the Catholics... I guess we can see which way the Catholic Church is going. Let's hear this Christ cry about this. Let's see what he has to say.
You can't even make this stuff up. Catholic Bible Association, new president is this woman.
It's so cucked. Can Christians be any more emasculated and cucked and like a virtue signal? Yo, thank you. Destroy Jesus.
Free world. What a nightmare.
I know. Yeah, just like Yahweh intended, huh? Jews leading the world from Jerusalem. Thank you. Destroy Jesus. He's got the plan down. Thank you. It's so crazy. It would be like Muslims getting a Jew to lead their association. Or would a Jew ever have a Christian lead their Jewish association? It's incredible. But hey, when your religion is started by Jews and you worship a Jew, it's not that much of a stretch to hire a Jew, elect a Jew as your president. Sad how much of the internet momentum has been captured by Christians. Not only dominated and monopolized by Christians, but gatekept the way they gatekeep anybody that doesn't believe in Jesus and the Bible is real, or really the huge L recently is all the momentum being redirected into kooky Candace, Charlie Kirk stuff. That's the real black pill. I'm really losing. I've never had much faith in humanity, but this new Candace Owens conspiracy stuff really has made me lose faith. What little faith there was left. This dude is a Muslim simp. I've seen him on TikTok. I think he got banned on TikTok. I just know he's a normal, typical, average Christ-cuck coper.
So I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Messianic Jew. I do not worship Jesus as Lord and Savior, and for me, the New Testament is not sacred scripture.
She doesn't believe that Jesus is the Messiah and doesn't believe our Bible is sacred scriptures. But she is going to be in charge of coordinating interpretations? Clearly subversion. She's only in it to push J propaganda. I mean, come on. She even wants rainbow flags inside.
Dude, all of the Bible is Jewish propaganda, dude. If you believe the Bible, you don't get to complain about Jewish propaganda, dude. Come on. Even the New Testament's all written by Jews, worshiping a Jew, Pharisees, Orthodox observant rabbis.
At churches, but yet she's a member of an Orthodox synagogue and does not want that same stuff in her synagogue.
And why not?
I mean, come on. Muslims don't put up with this. They don't have another religion in charge of their religion. They don't allow it, neither should we. This is getting absurd, and where to complain to?
Neither should you, but you do. But you do. But it's happening.
Is going to be in the comments section. Send them your emails and share this video. You can't even make this stuff up. Catholic Bible Association.
Can't even make this stuff up. No, I could have predicted something like this, actually. I'm not surprised. This is pretty par for the course, actually.
As Catholics, we are...
Meanwhile, checking in on the Catholics. And you're surprised? Did you think the Catholic Church was like some super trad base type of thing? Have you not seen the Pope? All his mass immigration and fighting anti-Semitism. And he's like, hey, man, I'm a real Catholic on TikTok. I'm a TikTok e-crusader Catholic. We can't let this happen. Yeah, these could keep complaining about it on Instagram, dude. While your church is completely kosher and worships, from the get-go, was worshiping the Jewish Messiah.
We're called to walk in the truth, and so to reject the conspiracies and lies that lead to harassment and even violence against our Jewish brothers and sisters. There is a strong connection between religious freedom and working to counter anti-Semitism, as Nostra Aetate puts it, in a rejection of every persecution against any man. The Church, mindful of the patrimony she shares with the Jews, and moved not by political reasons, but by the gospel's spiritual love, decries hatred, persecutions, displays of anti-Semitism directed against Jews at any time and by anyone. The Jewish community is attacked at a far higher rate than any other religious group in the United States. If we Catholics, in truly living out the gospel, are to defend religious freedom with integrity, we must clearly speak out against anti-Semitism.
There's their first line of defense, the shield of the Jews, the shield of the Torah, promoting their own flavor of Jewish messianism. The cross should be on the top of his head. He's just a real Catholic, dude. This is your real average Catholic. The U.S. Bishops Group condemned the Groypers and Fuentes. They put out videos like this. The Pope is as cucked as it gets. They elected a Jewish woman to lead their biblical association. At what time are just people going to realize they're cooked and it's over and throw in the towel? Paper Jesus shared this one. Shout out Paper Jesus. He says, Christians are just this dumb and disingenuous. Let's hear.
How do you think God would feel about you just taking the last book of the Bible and just chucking it?
Yeah, your Pope wears a small hat. Cope about it. This girl, I used to see this girl on TikTok. She's like an former Christian girl on TikTok.
Are you presupposing that Revelation is inherently incoherent?
Oh, I think I think it is wildly incoherent. It is a fever dream. There is not enough LSD in the world to, if I was to take it, even I could not have come up with the book of Revelation. No. but you just removed it from your scenario. I want to know by whose authority. If you are a Christian, you just took the 66th book of the Bible and discarded it. How do you think God would feel about that?
Well, you have a few things that you stated wrong. First of all, because you don't see it as coherent doesn't make it objectively incoherent. And I believe in 3 books. I'm Catholic.
So if I'm reading about things like the whore of Babylon,
this is a show big on YouTube called The Line, where they talk about religion, and it's super leftist, and they got all these trans hosts, and they mandate anybody that calls in to do their pronouns. We need our own equivalent of this on YouTube, doing these calls. Abrahamics Anonymous, if you will.
Riding down on a beast, right, with 7 heads carrying the cup of abominations. I should not look at the idea of a 7-headed dragon riding space prostitute and think that's incoherent.
Did you know
that? What you're telling me?
What is this?
I could sympathize and see why you would think that, but
I can see why I would think that too. 7-headed dragon riding space prostitutes are incoherent in the real world, are they not?
I mean, and I find that to be, you're missing out. There's many of things that are very symbolic in the book that would be very hard to understand. There's nothing wrong with that.
God then has purposefully made that book, which you discarded, but we're somehow back to quoting from as helpful source material.
No.
Rather than speak plainly, God, who is not the author of confusion, wrote confusingly about the 7-headed dragon riding space prostitute carrying the cup of abominations. Is that what I'm hearing?
What I'm saying is that there are many things in life that I would argue are more confusing than that. That does not mean that it's incoherent. Incoherent meaning that there's no sense to it. If you really spend time
there's
to read
no
Revelation,
sense to it. This sounds like an ortho bro.
Oh my God, you did not just tell me that Thomas and I have.
Here's actual dramatization, reenactment of how the book of Revelation was created from white tribalism on TikTok. Let's see.
7 seals, 7 trumpets, and the dragon, red, 10 horns, 7 crowns, not on the left foot. That's the sinful one. Back, back. Your faces are human, but your teeth are lion. Lion, I said. Who's there? The lamb? No. Then stop breathing so loud you'll wake 144,000. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse named Steve. Write what you see, John. Write it.
That's how it happened. That's how it went down. Revelation 2. I think it was Justin Martyr, early church father, said that John of Patmos called him an apostle. He never knew an earthly Jesus. He had revelations, visions, mystical writings. That makes you, even the Christians' Revelation 2:9 and 3:9, these letters to specific churches. It's not from an earthly Jesus. It's zombie Jesus giving somebody visions. So it's made up dreams and bullshit is what it really is.
I have not read the book of Revelation. Did you imply that?
No, sir. No, sir. I'm saying that I've read it. Look, hold on. I know y'all are the host. I'm not here
I also read it.
I'm not here to personally attack anybody. I'm not here to say that y'all didn't read it. Y'all might be better than me. I'm talking about myself. So I want to get that right off the cuff.
Hi, I have Christ brain.
How do you think God would feel about you just...
Oh, here's the 30-minute mix that See Through It All did. Let's watch a little bit of this.
We could have an hour-long documentary just to...
1.7 thousand likes from See Through It All since yesterday.
We could have an hour-long documentary just a rabbi.
Yeah, that's because of us, Jones. Oh, we could show the rabbis talking about destroying the West. Well, why haven't you then? Why not until now?
We could have an hour-long documentary just a rabbi. We're going to kill you. We're going to destroy Europe and America. We're going to burn you to the ground. You're cursed to hell to live in feces. And then show the rabbis with Netanyahu in Hebrew going, we need a bigger war to get the Messiah. I'm working on it.
I've seen this one too many times.
Exist as goyim, that's
good super mix there. Good super mix. Hey Jones, you gonna play this mix for us online? Hey, shout out, see through it all. Thank you for getting all these rabbis and spending all these, not hours, but like days and weeks watching all these rabbis to find the clips. Key analysis from this moron Russia shill who promoted QAnon. I'm sorry, but anybody that promoted QAnon should never be platformed and propped up ever again. Funny how this guy that's always on RT, Lionel, deep dive lawyer and top researcher that believed in QAnon, delivers key analysis on the insane legal pitfalls of the assassination. Yeah, right, dude. You guys are all going to be wrong again. I looked this guy up. Lionel QAnon. There's so many videos of him on BitChute from 2018 promoting QAnon. Hey, he was completely wrong about that for years, pushing that probably Russian Operation Trust PSYOP. Let's bring him on to talk some more kooky conspiracies. Look at this. The Russian Conspiracy Disinfo Network amplifying the kooky slop hard. RT boosting Alex Jones. Shilling for Candace. In the Charlie Kirk conspiracies. Retweeted by Sam Tripoli. The trifecta of Russia shill amplification. Yeah, Jones is claiming in this video that Charlie called him and said, good job on the Iran stuff. I don't believe that for a second. I do not believe that Charlie called Alex Jones. Maroon shirt Jones, yeah. Candace is always very sure of herself when she's wrong. It's funny, she tries to accuse Andrew of doing that when we all know that's what she does.
Watched some of you do these sorts of things where you assert something with a lot of confidence, and you can fact check it. I've always been very sure of myself, even when I was wrong. Do you know what I mean? That makes sense? Yeah. Like I have a 2-year-old toddler, most women, and he's I have a 2-year-old toddler son who's got that same characteristic where he's always very sure of himself, even when he's completely wrong. So watched some of you do these sorts of things where you assert something with a lot of confidence, and you can fact check it. I've always been very sure of myself.
Very sure, even when you're wrong about everything. Dude, it's one thing Candace being stupid and having all the wine moms from YouTube and TikTok following her, but then all of these other orbiters enabling her and giving her a boost is what's really disturbing to me. The Baron Colemans and the Lionels and the Jimmy Dores and the Stu Peters and the Ian Carrolls. All people that never talked about Jews ever until the last few years. And now they're the ones that are the experts on the Israel conspiracies, calling us Zionists because we don't go along with their schizophrenia. Candace Owens complains about conspiracy theorists on the same PDP podcast a few years ago. Let's see this. Look at that. Alex Jones, the big signature right behind him. I remember years ago, PBD interviewed Jones and he asked him about like accusations that he's a Zionist or that works for Israel. All these people too, they're all scared of debating. I've been challenging these people to debate. None of them want to do it. They all tweet all day, glazing Candace, promoting all this kooky bullshit. None of them want to debate. And it's not just that they don't want to debate me. They don't want to debate anybody that challenges him. If you really stood on your business and believed what you said, you would be wanting to debate anybody on this. None of them want to do it. They all run from the debates. Crickets. Candace had to be pressured with $300,000 to do it.
I have a question. You brought up conspiracy theorists. This doesn't necessarily have to do with documentary, but it kind of does because it's on Daily Wire. So in your most recent episode of Candace Owens, you kind of threw some shade on the conspiracy theorists. You kind of even all the right wing, and you were like, well, on one hand, I'm a anti-Semitic Kanye supporter, But on the other hand, I'm a puppet of
Israel
and Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
So which one is it? Can you be a puppet and anti-Semitic?
And
how does
the
it
problem.
work?
People get so far into their conspiracy theories. The stuff that I have read about myself, it's insane. Like literally, if you don't place your hands right, even when I'm wearing a T-shirt on my show, if I wear a T-shirt on my show, they'll be like, what does it mean? I'm like, I don't know. It's a plane. They're like, okay, but like, what does it mean? Why is there an orange and a Concord plane? And I'm like, I don't know. They're like, well, because people on the internet will just make something up. It's true. Literally, I have to be conscious of what I wear. I have to be conscious of my hand placements. They'll say that I'm in the Illuminati. There are conspiracy theories about my father-in-law who sits in the House of Lords in the UK, that he plucked me, works for the Rothschilds, that my marriage to champagne. I mean, people,
Chuck in a couple of shekels, guys. A little support to keep the best show online running.
Yeah, and now you and your people are doing that to Erica and TPUSA and Andrew and anybody. Now anybody that says you're wrong about Tyler Robinson killing Charlie, you say you got the call, you work for the Jews, you're $7,000, Fed slop, all of these things.
I get it. I get why we don't trust the media, and that's good. But there's also a level that people will go to create conspiracy theories. And when you watch Convicting a Murderer and we show you the fandom.
Message! Yes, in case you missed it, we officially have become the #1 podcast in the world.
Pushing the Charlie Kirk slop. If it was really a threat too, YouTube would ban her. How come YouTube could ban everybody else with no excuse, but then they never even suppress her or demonetize her in the slightest? TikTok, neither. Instagram, Facebook, none of it. She's never been suppressed even the slightest bit. People act like this isn't a grift. But when she started pushing this, she became the #1 podcast. And all these people, this cottage conspiracy industry, all these people that every show they've done has been exclusively 24-hour wall-to-wall coverage of Charlie Kirk kookery.
Conspiracy theorists look like we're just really the people who have the courage to tell the truth early. You know what they say? What's the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth? About 2 weeks. There's also a level that people will go to create conspiracy theories. You know what they say? What's the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth? About 2 weeks. Welcome back to Candace.
2 weeks. Try like 20 years, Candace. Clearly astroturfed. I know. Yeah, every one of these people pushing this, Candace can say they drink baby blood, they worship the devil, they're fake Jews. Every kosher conspiracy under the sun, never censored at all. Ian Carroll explodes on TikTok, hundreds of thousands, millions on YouTube. Yeah, Amalek says, Adam, did you see the new woman murderer who killed her kids that they're all defending now? Yeah, they've raised like $700,000 for her GoFundMe or something like that. Some woman on SSRI that strangled all her kids, and they're raising money for her. What is wrong with these people? It's all feels, and the Candace Owens feels edit. Let's see this.
My feelings, how I feel about things, how I think about things. Andrew, how many times do you hear this today?
Evidence that we feel like that's fair. What do you feel like let me help you. Where do you feel like I'm backtracking? Messages feel off. Feels like it's coming out too fast. Something feels off is why people don't feel good. You feel convinced by them. I feel unconvinced by them.
Okay.
Feel. I hate her and everybody so much. I mean, she's just like some, dumb black girl. So her, I give a little bit of a pass, but like everybody else that's boosting her, it does not seem organic at all. It feels so much astroturf, like a psyop.
Sup sent $5.
Doomernat?
What's your take on Doomernat?
He's just some idiot that wants Russian rubles. He wants to be as edgy and anti-Western as possible to shill for the third world and Putin. I don't even know if he really believes all that stuff, too. That's just he decided that's his grift, is he's going to shill for Putin and all of the Ziggurat third world slop.
we feel like we can move forward. Did you feel like this is, you felt like you were convinced?
Right.
I feel like you, it's like feel that you have, I do not feel that you sufficiently feels underwhelming. If you feel bad for her, this part to me feels like I'm answering the question as I feel like I want to answer. This feels like a conspiracy. It doesn't feel right. You do not feel, if you feel like a professor today, well, I feel like, do you feel feels weird to think, I feel confident he's involved. Didn't feel confident how we all feel about her. I feel like if you think that.
Alma feels. How crazy is that? That's already been the accusation against her, is it's all vibes and, oh, that feels sus and that feels weird. And like, and this is the debate, the feelings counter, 32.
She's dumb. That's why it feels like, well, I just feel like that. I feel like I said.
I just feel like Candace is like a Russian disinfo op to make everybody retarded and to discredit anti-Zionism and make Jews the victim. Give them their new blood libel scandal.
I feel like now you're just kind of, Erica, I feel like
it was three.
I hope your team feels
and
fulfilled.
Alex Jones said Andrew was appealing to emotion.
Things that we feel are, I feel like I've sufficiently answered your question. I feel like saying that I spoke to the owner. The point here, I feel like you didn't still walk away feeling.
But I am sorry you feel that way.
What a perfect ending. That's
my
so
feelings,
funny.
How I feel.
That's great. On her own show, too.
Anonymous sent $5.
Thank you. How do you feel, Anonymous?
People who have a soul feel icky. Our feeling about how people felt, what it felt like, it feels like we're being mocked. Now, how I felt, that's how I feel. I feel thing feels weird and wrong. It feels like and I feel like I have been being gaslit. How we all feel right now, that's a normal human feeling. That's how I feel. I hate him anyway. How does that make you feel? The way that I feel if she feels cyberbullied. That's how I felt. And it feels like, that's how I feel. I just feel like
Okay, we get the point. She's all feels. Candace deleted this video off every platform. It was first podcast she did with PragerU. Now, why would she want this particular video taken down right after Charlie died? Let's see.
But the stuff that we have gone through over the last year, I mean, there have been moments where I was just crying in bed and shouting at Charlie on the phone. Like, I mean, we've gotten into fights and things get.
Motive. It feels like Candace might have a motive to want to kill Charlie.
Really heated and vicious because we're fighting a war together, but the thing is our names are tagged to it.
Yes.
So everything that comes out, it's Charlie Kirk, it's Candace Owens, it's Charlie Kirk, and there's so much hurt and emotion and pain that goes on behind the scenes. And I want to really stress that point because I know that there are a lot of kids now that go through depression and angst, and they look at people's lives on social media and they think, wow, I wish I had that life. But what we do is it's hard.
It's very hard.
But the stuff that we have gone through
why would she delete this? I don't get it. This is a stupid post. Dude, this guy, Amlek, remember this was the guy that was arguing with me in my replies? These are like the best AI videos I've ever seen. Like Hollywood movie quality AI videos. He said he might include me. I might make a cameo in one of these. I'm hoping for it, I think. I don't know. I might regret that, but let's see some of these.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill and you can just keep saying, so what? You take the red pill. You learn everything about the Tyler Robinson case.
So what? So what? So what? So what? Positive evidence? So what? So what? Red. Appeal to emotion. So what? Burden of proof. So what? So what? So what? So what? Appeal to emotion. So what? Burden of proof. So what? Positive evidence. Positive evidence. Positive evidence. Positive evidence. So what? So what? So what? Appeal to emotion. What? So what?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop!
The debatrix. He's got another one right here too.
Wait, I can explain!
Shabbat shalom, Andrew.
What?
We invested a lot in you.
I was having nicotine withdrawal, the chair was uncomfortable, I barely slept, my foot was—
Silence!
She asked you to name one of the 7 charges. You said positive evidence 47 times.
It was a framework!
47 times, Andrew. Bring me the jar.
No.
Yeah, and how many times did she provide any positive evidence? 0 times. That's what should matter. And they're all, dude, this framing that like, oh, he didn't know the 7 charges. He got the main charge, murder. They're debating, did Tyler kill him? Is there evidence he killed him? Or is there evidence of her conspiracies? They weren't there to test who knew every detail of the charges. They're ignoring that she had no evidence for anything. It was all feels. She had no positive evidence to prove any of her theories. All the evidence points to Tyler being involved. And all they can say is he didn't know the 7 charges. Oh, he said murder instead of aggravated murder. So what? Uh-oh. Here comes the eyes wide shut pickle jars. It was an olive jar.
No.
I bet you anything too, Candace thought, she's like, this was her debate tactic, her prep. She was like, I'm going to go look at some like detail like that. And then I'm going to try to quiz him on it. And she's going to know the 7 charges and he won't. And this will be her big victory lap. I bet you anything that's what she was thinking. Which is funny because this is actually the type of trick that an ortho bro or Jay Dyer tries to do to when they debate people. Which doesn't make me have too much sympathy for Andrew in this circumstance, because this is totally something Andrew or Jay Dyer, one of the ortho bros, would do. Like Jay Dyer just did to that not so erudite girl. He's like, "Oh, you're a philosophy person. Oh, can you name me one of Plato's books? Any of them?" She didn't know. They're like, "Oh, you win. You don't know."
Please, not the pickles!
Jars wide shut. These are funny. I wonder what Andrew thinks of these. They're so good. The casting is spot on. You know, I hate Candace and I want her to be destroyed, but I just can't deny these AI videos are incredible. Oh, they're really excited about this one too. They think this is her drop mic moment. Forget that she had no evidence for anything. She said, "I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you." And they're like, "Oh, boo, drop the mic. Oh, she says you don't understand. Oh." Like, all they have is he didn't know the 7 charges. She said, you don't understand. I don't even know what this is in context about. Nobody knows. And his foot was shaking. That's it. Well, not explaining anything. Yeah, what did he not understand? You know, I remember when I debated E. Michael Jones, he said like some quip like this to me too. It was something very similar too. I should try to look it up. Same exact line. This is just like a nothing. There's just no substance at all. You could take somebody that like completely understands everything and just say that, and then if everybody just pretends and claps like seals, like it's a big W. So a prize for debating is more valuable than actual debate. Look at this. 21,000 likes. I can't pronounce it for you, but I can't explain it to you either. You're not my dad. I can explain it to you, but I can't give you any supporting evidence. I can tell you how I feel, but I don't have to tell you why I feel that way. Something like, yeah, zingers matter. It's just like a quip. Yeah, If you're like a low IQ and don't understand anything, this goes really hard. I might just steal this and see if it works. If this is what it takes to convince sheep that you won the debate, I'm just going to steal this and use this in every debate from now on. Actually, you just don't understand. Does anybody remember when E. Michael Jones tried to say something like this to me? What it was exactly? They think it's so hard. Priceless. Brilliant. Got 'em. Banger. Peak black woman. And the goyim are eating it the fuck up. Yeah, exactly. Also, there's a saying that, like, if you can't explain something in a way that people can understand, like, that's a you problem. Anyway, just that's their huge W. She said you don't understand. Oh, and they're all parading around a screenshot of one of the polls that PBD ran, and Candace won by like a good margin, and they're like, oh, look, Candace won, you lost. As if Candace doesn't have like over 10 times the following that he has, and that her followers are super invested in this, and they're going to vote for her no matter what happens. Whether they watch the debate or not, they will vote for her, and they act like, oh, she won because more people voted that way. Let's see what Ian Carroll says about... I hate Ian Carroll so much, dude. He sucks. He sucks so bad.
Why would Andrew Wilson, who self-admittedly thinks all women are retarded, we'll get to that, why would he pay $300,000 to debate a woman in her basement about like the moral objectivity of her podcast?
There's the faces.
And then come in with this level of conviction and give this level of performance. It's...
See,
let's just say you could use your common sense about whether...
He just goes... Dude, it's just faces. It's just his gay porn mustache and faces. And the Candace cultists just love it.
That's suspicious and why that would be happening and what he's really up to and what's going on here. Because, you know, most of us clocked it from a mile away.
Candace's investigation is indistinguishable from a leftist operation. She couldn't be doing more damage to the right if she were trying. She uses her considerable platform to relentlessly attack one of the most influential conservative...
You know who couldn't be doing more damage to the right than possible? Trump.
Call it.
The uniparty blob around him, the deep state, and all the influencers that are peddling all their bullshit and, you know, papering over all the lies, all the broken promises, covering up for the Epstein files, pretending like we all wanted the Iran war, pretending like we're not losing the Iran war objectively, intensely, and really horribly. There's really no one that is doing more damage to the right than Trump and, you know, the right that is currently in charge of the House.
Coming in a close second, though. I'll grant that. Candace is coming in a close second. That's why Hassan Piker is endorsing this. That's why that weird leftist group with the girl with the curly hair is colluding with these people to promote this stuff. The left is looking at the right now, the state of the right debating over Charlie Kirk and schizo conspiracies, and it just... Anybody that was like centrist or on the fence looks at the right wing and Candace and all these kooks, and I'm sure they want no part of it. Yeah, Ian Carroll and Professor Zhang. I've never seen anybody astroturfed so far so bad. You know, schizos used to claim I was astroturfed, but they got nothing to say about these guys. It's incredible.
House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the fucking White House. So let's be clear about who is destroying the right. Nothing wrong with commentators, you know, objective commentators that voted for him, that supported him, that are now promise broken by him. Nothing wrong with them criticizing him for all that. Perfectly fine. And to be clear, Charlie Kirk would have been one of them. That's the whole premise here. Charlie Kirk would have been criticizing Trump over all of these things too. No. He did objectively all throughout his final years of life.
No, he didn't. Hey, where's the clip of him criticizing Trump? Are we forgetting that Charlie backed the invasion of Gaza? Charlie backed the bombing of Iran in 2025. I think it was Epic Fury. And you would have backed this one too. Who are you kidding?
And so then, I mean, I would make the argument, I'd be happy to make the argument that Turning Point USA is actually doing more damage to the right by turning to now support Israel full on, support the Iran.
Oh, yeah, dude. TPUSA just started to support Israel. That's a new thing after Charlie died. Maybe this guy was too busy down in Guatemala, like hanging out with orphans or whatever he was doing, or delivering pizzas. He didn't know that TPUSA is like the ultra Zionist gatekeepers for the last 10 years. Yeah, dude. Dude, if they didn't kill before Charlie, TPUSA was like totally not Zionist, dude. Yeah, he was a leftist, or still is a leftist. Yeah. Let's hear that again. Oh, TPUSA wasn't Zionist, and TPUSA didn't support Israel until they killed Charlie? Really? I thought about this today, too. Who actually had more motive to kill Charlie? Israel or, like, Iran? I don't think Iran did it, but I'm just saying, like, in the grand scheme of things, who would have had more motive? Israel or Iran?
I would make the argument, I'd be happy to make the argument that Turning Point USA is actually doing more damage to the right by turning to now support Israel full on,
turning to support Israel full on. Dude, do you not know who Charlie was the last 10 years? Who is he kidding? Dude, they had to take out Charlie to make TPUSA pro-Israel, man.
The Iran war, try to, finagle a version of like, oh, come on, kids, just there's no affordability crisis. They're trying to peddle all of the mainstream slop when that was never what Charlie was doing. And so Turning Point is damaging themselves because they're going to destroy their own credibility by doing so. Not to mention, all this stuff about the case and Erica and Blake and Andrew and all that.
What's wrong with them? What are they doing? Erica's bad for the right because, like, she wouldn't be, because she says Candace is bad. I can't stand Ian. Also, Ian, you want to talk all day, every day, on every video, every tweet about the Charlie Kirk conspiracies, won't debate anybody, refuses to debate anybody on this. This is why I think they know they're full of shit and it's just a big grift. They really believe that they would accept challenges to debate. They don't.
Investigation, my ass. They didn't even bother to do any due diligence at all. I'm not a fucking reporter. I'm not an investigative journalist. How the fuck am I? I'm just a guy on the internet who fucking has stalled out left-wing agendas where I can. How the fuck am I the only one who has the logic or reason here to try to falsify their own position in search of real, tangible evidence?
That's such a good question, too. I think in the debate, you should ask Candace, what would it take to get you to believe that Tyler killed Charlie? If Tyler got on the stand and got cross-examined, interrogated, and said, I did it because of this, they would still say, no, he's a part of it. It's still a conspiracy. Israel still did it. What would it take? That's what you got to do to ask these people questions, because if it's unfalsifiable and there's nothing that you could give them that would make them say, okay, I was wrong, Tyler did it, then you know they're full of shit. PBD did ask that. What was her answer? I thought she did. I thought he did. Because if, like, they'll sit here and they'll debate things like, oh, are the text messages real? Or, oh, is it really him in the footage? But then if you grant that and then they still say, well, still it doesn't matter. What would it take to make you believe? She refused to answer? Yeah, it's a full-on cult when you could give them all the evidence in the world and they'll still keep doubling down.
Why? I have a shitload of never before seen, never before publicly released evidence. Tons of it. No, I'm not going to drip it out. Maybe some of it. I kind of thought about some of it because I have a feeling I know where she's going to go after her bullshit gets refuted with actual evidence. And so I have evidence for that too. None of them. I just couldn't believe it. My entire purpose for going down there is the best $300,000 I ever spent. Did you get?
Yeah, people are like, oh, he wasted his money or he didn't win. I saw somebody else say this, and I think it's what I said also on when we live watched it with Carlin. This $300,000 investment, and has a GoFundMe. Last I saw, he's only raised like $80,000. This pushed him into the stratosphere. Now he's gonna have face and name recognition. He probably gained 20,000 YouTube and Twitter followers, but this is like the most anticipated and unprecedented debate of all time. Yeah, they have some earpiece conspiracy going on too. Andrew Wilson made 12,000 in 2 hours of streaming. Yep. From YouTube donos.
Her on record and tie her to her positions. And she tied herself to her positions, and she tied them up tight. 0% chance it wasn't Robinson. Yes, Israel and France were involved. Yes, Erica Kirk is complicit. Yes, tie her to her tie them to their claims, man. No evidence that he's a patsy whatsoever. No evidence for any of her claims, but I have tons of evidence to the contrary of her claims.
Yeah, exactly. It's so crazy too that they asked Candace and she said 0%. She thinks it's a 0% chance that Tyler killed Charlie. That just shows how unserious she is. Yeah, Patrick Bet David said he got 50 to 200 million of advertising from the 300K. Yeah, no, it paid off for him for sure. He's going to get on all these other big interviews because of it probably. It's just all so annoying too. Like I had 100,000 YouTube followers in 2020. I don't even think he started his channel until after that. It's just so unfair. So unfair.
General Hall.
Yeah. What's in that? What is that? What is that?
That's an earpiece.
Was that legal?
It's not like I'm out there saying big lie.
You see how he's touching his earpiece?
Yeah.
Was he wearing an earpiece?
100%.
He was.
Wait a minute. 100%.
What do you mean he was wearing an
Candace
earpiece?
have it too?
Are you ready?
Okay, go.
That's Candace's earpiece.
What does that mean?
They gave that earpiece to all of us.
So they had it too.
No. But wait a minute. Watch what just happened.
Yeah.
The market believes he had an earpiece of things being fed to us. That was an earpiece that Candace's producers gave Candace, gave him.
To hear everything you guys
me.
behind the scenes.
So is she going to say that on air?
She would easily. I don't think she would have a problem.
Yeah.
I think she will. I don't think she has a problem with that.
So they could communicate to each earpiece individually, or so if Candace heard something in her earpiece, then Andrew could also hear what they were saying to her.
But
yeah, she 0% wants to lose her audience. Good one, Liam.
That is their earpiece.
So they're attacking him for the earpiece when she gave him the earpiece.
And people always ask me, what happened with Candace? What happened with Candace? This is my opinion. I think she said political content is declining. But you know what's not declining? Conspiracy theories, murder mysteries, pop culture. Jeffrey Dahmer's the #1 show on Netflix. So like a Scooby-Doo type thing. She's like, I'm going to follow the crowd. And you win the crowd, you win your freedom. And I actually respect that. I don't respect the methodology which she's doing it, which is basically trampling on a widow's, on a widow and her kids.
So,
but I respect the fact what her game plan is.
Guess what? Then TPUSA, sue her. Then
They're
TPUSA,
probably considering it.
Do something.
Well, did you see the part where he asked her point blank?
They're obviously waiting until the trial's over. Once the trial's over, then they'll be able to use the evidence in the trial against her in the defamation lawsuit.
Like, will you say on camera right now that Erica Kirk or TPUSA were involved in the murder?
Won't say
she said, I won't say that.
It's a lawsuit, but she's already said it a couple other times.
She's already insinuated many times. That's the challenge I have.
But listen.
Did she not say straight to jail? Straight to jail.
There's
Monopoly.
There's not a lot of things. Because right now, nothing matters more than Charlie Kirk to me. Nothing.
I love that you just said that.
Nothing matters more to me than Charlie. My loyalty, and by the way, just so everybody says, all you guys did it for money. Just so you know, they offered to pay me to go. Let me, just so the audience knows, this is the part nobody knows. I didn't take a penny for this thing.
Yeah, they were running your ads during the breaks for your shoes, dude. What do you mean you didn't take a penny? No, you said you'll go do it as long as you get to run your ads and commercials for your leather shoes during the break. Let's see Shmuley's daughter, what she has to say about it.
So Candace Owens was crucified in this debate that she did. The facade was torn down. This facade where she gets all close to the camera and she points her finger at you and accuses innocent people of the most evil things. It was all torn down because when she was asked about them, she couldn't stand by her own evil opinions. Just, you have to watch this.
Straight to jail, straight to jail. We're questioning at least Erica. I don't care who's mad. I really do not care who wants to be upset after this episode.
Straight to jail.
Yeah, so that's the show intro, and straight to jail is a monopoly term.
Okay.
Like, you know.
So do not pass go.
Yeah.
Do not collect $200.
Yes, it's obviously tongue in cheek.
Guys, straight to jail, telling a widow whose husband was just assassinated in public, whose neck was shot into and murdered in front of the whole world, straight to jail for his grief.
That's your leader, conspiracy kook. She can't even stand on all the accusations she's been making for so long. Yeah, this is Rabbi Shmuley's daughter. You haven't seen her before? We always play her.
Wife. No, guys, that's a Monopoly intro. I was just being tongue-in-cheek. I was joking.
I've stated multiple times that you believe that Israel's involved in the death of Charlie Kirk.
Nobody has made the claim that Israelis, there were also, obviously
Ian
Joe
Carroll
Kent.
made the claim.
Well, Joe Kent, who I think would have the right to assert it, that there were 12 Israeli cell phones on the ground that day. But we cannot say for certainty that Israel called the shots. And
Guys, she can't say the thing that she's been saying for the past almost a year.
France and Israel are involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. And I'm going to put that out there with full confidence.
She's been telling the entire world that the Jews are behind Charlie Kirk's assassination, but now she can't say it now.
Any evidence that Erica Kirk and
It's so
TPUSA
weak.
participated in the murder?
And it just shows how she doesn't really actually believe what she's saying.
Charlie Kirk.
I've never said they participated in the murder of Charlie Kirk, so how could I say that I have evidence they participated in the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Okay. That's what you're there to debate, you dumb bitch. I've never said that.
So then you don't believe that they did?
I never have said that statement, so I'm not going to get you to ask me personal questions about things that I've never said on record.
Okay.
The lying is like mind-blowing. I've never said, is she psychotic? I don't know if this is like cowardice, psychosis, pathological liar. What is it? She's been saying things for a year, but now when she's confronted with them, she can't say any of the things. In fact, she never said them. She's sick.
Isn't that true? You don't need to see her close up. I wanted to get
So
closer.
Candace Owens
What do you
was
mean?
crucified in this.
All right, here's a breaking. Jake Shields and Malcolm X.
People like Andrew Wilson, you can tell he doesn't even care about the case. He's just doing it for money and clout. So he's on there to argue about something he doesn't even know about. I think it was apparent that Candace was like passionate about it. She was a friend of Charlie. She cares deeply about it versus this fucking grifter being paid to argue that Tyler Robinson acted alone. People like Andrew Wilson, you can tell he doesn't even care about the case. He's just doing it for money.
No arguments. No, a lot of people genuinely don't like the schizo theories and attacking people on bullshit, actually. I want to debate somebody. I didn't think Andrew did very good. I want to debate one of these idiots on Charlie Kirk. Remember I debated Owen Benjamin. He's just a grifter. He's being paid. They tweeted out, he was like, Andrew's reading his script from the Jews in his opening statement. It's just like, all right, dude. All right, you're totally not a retard. Dumb conspiracy push people into supporting Israel. Is this real?
Israel. And I only became pro-Israel relatively recently. It was in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's assassination. And before he was assassinated, I was actually quite anti-Israel. But I saw so many stupid people, quite frankly, saying, oh, it was the Mossad that did it, yada, yada, yada. And I knew for a fact that this made no sense whatsoever, that he had been a strong supporter of Israel throughout his life, and that these conspiracy theories were completely bunk. And so I was thinking, if these people are lying to me about the Kirk assassination, they have to be lying to me about some other stuff. And so I actually did my research. I ended up visiting Israel in January, and I had an excellent time, and now I would consider myself a Zionist.
I called this. I knew this would happen. It's inevitable. You see all these retards and the low IQ anti-Semitism. I'm like, this is going to make people support Israel. They go, oh, I saw Jake Shields and Sneeko and Candace being total retards and lying about everything. So it makes you support the Zionist. This is what's actually happening in mass, unfortunately. And this is why I hate it. Hey, Candace, stop handing Ben Shapiro easy W's and discrediting the opposition. Hassan Piker supports Candace. Even though he knows it's retarded, he's supporting it because he knows this undermines the right and it runs cover for leftist violence.
I can't speak out against this queen because this is a queen that successfully and single-handedly undermined the Republican initiative to martyrize Charlie Kirk and use that example to crack down on political dissent. She dropped a grenade on the discourse. You understand? So I'm with her. It's hard. It's hard for me. My brain says, no, it's probably Tyler Robinson. But my heart says, go, Candace, go. Keep cooking. Does that make sense? I can't like her tweets because she blocked me many, many years ago. This is before she became our hero. Okay.
Our hero.
Many, many years ago, Candace Owens blocked me. I've not been a fan of Candace Owens. I am a fan now.
See? You know what else too? I gotta get the AI thing to go search through my old videos. I know for a fact I was so critical of Candace from the very start of her starting to leave Daily Wire and criticize Israel. And I said this, I'm like, her criticisms are so retarded and so wrong and so kosher, even before Charlie was killed, that it's helping the Jews in Israel. It's helping the Zionist. Yeah, clearly the left sees how this is taking the spotlight off of violent leftists. It's destabilizing the right. It's making the right look retarded. Let's hear it. I think he elaborates more on this one.
I think France and Israel are involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. And
France and Israel? She's so crazy. She's so crazy. Bro, come on, dude. It's so cool that she added the French into this because she had the personal beef with Brigitte Macron. And she was getting sued by them.
The only reason.
She was getting sued by Brigitte Macron, who she said was transgender. So she just, boom, tied France into that conspiracy too. It's awesome. I see, that's the other side of this story that I kind of don't understand. Like, do people just like avoid that side? Like, or do they also think France killed Charlie Kirk? Because I'm pretty sure people think Israel killed Charlie Kirk, and that came mostly from her. So when she added the French into the equation, did people just like avoid that part? Do they just pick and choose what kind of crazy conspiracies they believe?
I'm going to put that out there with full confidence.
Full confidence.
Involvement.
I understand.
Yeah.
So you think you with full confidence, you think that?
Yeah, I think
that
Israel's
France
involved.
and Israel.
Yeah, I mean, the person that gave me that thing that I reported said that French Foreign Legion were on the ground that day. Again, this would.
That's so insane. Are you forgetting the French are the real Jews line? That makes them the same sentiment? No, I know, but like no one believes that, right? Please tell me people don't believe the French are the real Jews, whatever the that even means. And yes, by the way, for those of you who didn't believe me, she did tie Egypt and France to the equation as well. And the French Foreign Legion were on the ground that day. I was there. I watched all of it happening. I couldn't believe it. She said, is Jews that control the media? Then she said, it's actually French that control the media because the real Jews are the French. She said
they're
that
actually
shit.
Turkic pagan nomadic tribes, actually.
And perhaps what's more insane is people believed it. Until Donald Trump turns on Israel, Charlie Kirk was never going to turn on Israel. So that is actually one part of this conspiracy that I find,
people
really
are so misrepresenting. His criticisms of Israel were mild, and they were like, Israel doesn't have the right talking points that are going to be the best for Israel. That was like the extent of his criticism.
Goddamn annoying, but whatever. Who cares? I think you meant Mossad wrote a book, put Charlie's name on it, and then exploded a lav mic. Yeah, that's what I meant. That seems less far-fetched than the conservative movement's most loyal servant being unbelievably loyal to Israel. Charlie Kirk's personal perspective on Israel wasn't as critical either. It really wasn't. He was just more so annoyed with the pro-Israel donors and the pro-Israel movement because it was making his job a lot harder to reach out, to do youth outreach.
See, Hassan gets it. People with a little bit of common sense get this. People that aren't trying to, that said it was Israel on day one and are working backwards to try to prove it, they understand this.
Let's just say I'm spiritually on the sidelines on this. Because, like, on the one hand, my brain tells me something entirely different than what my heart is championing. If you know what I mean, okay? If you're picking up what I'm putting down. On the one hand, I want to...
No joke, this is the most I've ever listened to Hassan Piker. Not impressed. I don't know why anybody likes him. Sneeko and Owen Benjamin breaking down the Charlie Kirk has been eaten theory. Oh, my God.
Like, we're done with this, you know?
I've seen you say that on X, saying that they probably ate Charlie Kirk, and then you also posted a video. At first, I'm like, okay, come on. Then there's a video, I think it was an agent or someone who said that he put his hand on Charlie Kirk and tasted his blood. And he's saying this on a podcast. Like, wait, I'm like, so he did eat Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, no, he ingested Charlie Kirk. Now we're going to argue about, is that eats? Do you need teeth? He literally, the guy that was in the car with him, they called Ben Shapiro in the car as he's bleeding out. That makes no sense. He goes, the blood.
Hold on. They're misrepresenting. Owen's such a liar, dude. Everything about Owen is just some unfunny, like, kosher lie. They never said that they called Ben Shapiro. Shapiro said he was getting updates because they shared a security company. People in his security were probably communicating with the security headquarters, who were also communicating with Ben's security. I want to go back and watch the debate I had with Owen. You guys know I debated Owen on Charlie Kirk stuff on Adam King's show.
Was in my mouth, and he started rubbing his lips and going, I could taste the blood, and I'm like, okay, well that's ingestion. And then you just show that, like, you know, in certain centuries it's pretty open that if a certain group of people weren't conceiving, they would literally eat foreskins.
Dude, his security guard that was trying to put pressure on the wound and got some blood on his face. Yeah, that's the conspiracy that we should be focused on. They ate him to sacrifice to Baal, right?
Cannibalism, like, you can't just be like, yeah, but it's one of our traditions. You're like, dude, you're eating part of a baby's dick. Like, that's so we know you can do that. And then you look at a lot of the traditions of eating the enemies and all that stuff, and you're like, yeah, I could, you know, I think the odds are, at this point, 15%. There's no body. They won't say where the body was. When I first posted that, it was...
Dude, clearly they're not saying where he's buried because they don't want the millions of schizos to go and dig up his body or liberals to go and deface his grave.
It's like 1%. Like I was mostly being funny. And then their reaction was...
See, I called it. I'm like, there's no way Owen really believes they're eating Charlie. He's just a bit. Exactly. How much of this is a bit? He talks about how his dad, when he was little, used to force him to debate things that weren't true, and that's what he does for a living now. He promotes kooky. He probably doesn't think the Earth is flat either. He just does it because it's an easy grift. See, he just admitted it was a joke.
So over the top. Like no one assumed it was funny. They were just like, can you believe anti-Semite Owen Benjamin, former comedian and unhinged, like, this is blood libel. I'm like, oh my God, this could really be true. Like they're acting like they were caught. I'm like, dude, you guys.
Oh my God, I hate. Why do they all do this logic? You say something outrageous, people say you're stupid, and they go, what are you so defensive about? Maybe that means it's true. They all do this.
Fucking ate Charlie Kirk. It was crazy to witness.
Yeah, he might be wrong, but he's not lying. Oh, actually, you were just lying. You were just trying to get in on the Charlie Kirk conspiracy grift.
And that video is ingestion. You are literally consuming Kirk by putting.
Yeah.
Why were they calling?
The way he's trying to be. I saw a clip too where Zerka told him, he's like, you just need to be the new Malcolm X, and he's literally doing it. He got the same glasses, same slim fit tee.
And Shapiro while he was bleeding out.
Those are questions I would love to know. And also, when they did the Sean Ryan show, they brought a piece of Charlie Kirk's blood as a gift for their museum. And the Sean Ryan show was like, we're good, man. No, thank you. And so people like that see blood like that, they just seem outside of the spirit. You know what I mean? They seem outside of how dudes like me and you like assume the world is.
Zelensky!
$100, $100. $200 to go.
Yeah. Thanks for keeping track, dudes. Nice. We hit the goal thanks to Zelensky. Wow, dude. I hope I see a whole lot more pro-Putin posting in the chat from Zelensky now with all these hundo donations. Thank you, Zelensky. Praying your stock goes up, your boomer stock.
And people think.
It was
and it gets to
obviously
a point
joke.
where I don't really even understand their first principles or assumptions. I'm just like, you guys are like nuts.
So people are nuts for saying that's crazy to say they're eating Charlie, so it must be true. But we're the nuts ones, not you. Dude, Sneeko's show is just pure coal. Dude, their little cadre they got going on of Jake and Dan and Owen and Sneeko and Professor Jang, and it's all so trash. Candace super chats into Baron
this
Coleman.
money is that's the principle. This money is from Andrew Wilson. Well, now she's down to $299,950, guys. $299,950.
This guy's so.
And she's got a great sense of humor. That actually made me laugh, Candace. Thank you.
This guy's made like hundreds of thousands off of exclusively covering the Charlie Kirk conspiracy in the last year. And then Jake Shields says Andrew's a grifter and paid off.
That was very, very funny. Very, very funny.
No,
Golly,
it's
that's
not that funny actually. Dude, the way they all glaze and simp, all these Candace stands that just simp for her so hard, it's pathetic. It's disgraceful and pathetic. Where'd he come from? I don't know. He just started podcasting, I guess, the Charlie Kirk stuff. Look, he's even got his allegedly, like Ian Carroll and Candace. He was Ali Alexander, Ali Akbar's lawyer before that. The Candace Simp Network, yeah.
The
Also, another guy that has made hundreds of thousands and does shows every day and tweets all day, every day about Charlie, but won't debate anybody about it. What does that tell you? What does that tell you about how sincere these people's beliefs really are? Yeah, the sign is just to prevent lawsuits. Hey, your hero Candace wouldn't own up on anything she's been claiming and had no proof for anything.
Anyway, it was very clear to me that because he was weak on the case and didn't know anything, he wanted out of debating the evidence altogether. He didn't want to talk about the degraded prince who says, so what? So what? What do you mean, so what? I'm trying to tell you why there is just as much evidence here.
Yeah, degraded prince, still the DNA said that it matched with Tyler. Maybe he rubbed off the fingerprints. It was out in the sun, in the dirt. That degrades DNA. Trying to rub off prints rubs off prints.
The evidence that you say is enough to say that he did it, to say that he was set up as a patsy. I'm trying to prove my claim, but he said, nope, let's go to a new phase. And the next phase was very reminiscent to me of when you learn a new vocab word and you just want to use it. It was like a term.
Of course, vocab word. Hey, at least he knows how to pronounce positive, 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 positive. What is this positive evidence? Yeah, I'm definitely right, patriarchy. They are grifters saying what people want to hear for money. Yeah, they love being entertained by murder mystery conspiracies.
He had just learned yesterday or something, and that term was positive evidence. He just thought that if I keep saying it, people at home will think I'm really smart and intellectual. And frankly, it just came across as bizarre.
Dude, nobody thinks positive evidence is some type of intellectual thing. He's saying, what is your evidence that it was anybody else besides Tyler? Because you had no evidence. She's gonna rant about he said positive evidence. Meanwhile, you provided no evidence. You walked back your claims, claiming you're not making any claims.
Like, this is just a little bit of him saying positive evidence.
Let's talk about the Foreign Legion.
Sure.
Was the Foreign Legion, do you believe, trying to kill you?
Yes, that's why I reported it to the correct officials in government. That's what I was told, and I handed over that information to Tulsi Gabbard's office.
What's your best piece of evidence for that?
Well, it was
positive evidence.
This would be at a professional limitation for me to then go and probe that information that I handed over. I can't do that. I'm not the United States government.
But you don't have any positive evidence of that, right?
Liz, can you just stop? It's actually just like annoying to hear you keep saying positive evidence.
Do you have any positive evidence whatsoever that Israel killed Charlie Kirk?
That he stopped and ate at Chick-fil-A, which if you are into LGBTQ issues, wouldn't be your lunch before you go kill Charlie Kirk for LGBTQ issues.
That's your positive evidence?
You know,
yeah, but do you have positive evidence?
We cannot say for certainty that Israel called the shots and this is how it happened, but it is definitively, I think, a thread that a lot of us would like to see
there's
pulled.
No positive evidence. Don't you think that like tens of thousands?
It's a thread that we would like to see pulled. Yeah, you want it to be Israel. You want it to be Israel and you want it to be conspiracy. Exactly. That she just revealed the game right there. Yeah, she has no evidence at all, so she's just complaining that he asked her for evidence.
Thousands of people would want to know what Candace Owens' positive evidence for why it is that Israel and France were involved in the most traumatic public assassination of Gen Z's lifetime is. She had no positive evidence Israel's involved in anything.
And look, this is a thing too, by the way, guys. Positive evidence affirms that a fact, event, or statement is true. Negative evidence indicates the absence of a fact or event or states that something was not seen, heard, or done. And this, maybe he did it a little bit too much, but he's right. She doesn't have any positive evidence. She just tries to say stuff like, well, it feels weird that he would eat at Chick-fil-A, which is a Christian and donates to, anti-gay stuff if he was LGBTQ, that type of thing. As if that's evidence that Israel did it and he didn't do it.
No positive evidence that France is involved in anything. No positive evidence TPUSA is involved in anything. No positive evidence that Erica Kirk is involved in anything.
Genuinely, like, it was maddening. I just, could you just stop saying that term? You do not sound smart. You don't need positive evidence for your opinions. You just don't. You're like, hey, I think.
Wait. You don't need evidence for your opinions. You hear that? You don't need evidence for your opinions. You could just have feelings. And then when he goes, explain to me why you feel that way, I don't need to explain to you why I feel. That's what she said.
Chicken sandwiches are better than cheeseburgers. But what's your positive evidence? But I just think that. Well, what's your you have to have positive evidence. How would I have to have positive evidence for me receiving a threat and me taking it to the authorities? Could you imagine if the world worked like that? Like, you receive a threat and someone's like, hey, you should know if this person is plotting to kill you. And you go to the police station and you're like, here's the person who told me this. He's going to kill me. And the police are like, well, what's your positive evidence? My positive evidence,
well, it would be like, was it just hearsay? Remember, she complained so much about hearsay. Okay, so somebody in the government told you something. What was that based on?
Reporting the threat, officer. I don't know how. I want you to do your job now and go figure out if this is viable. They're telling me this. Well, what's your positive evidence? My positive evidence is me coming to you with the evidence that I have and expecting you to investigate it because that's your duty. I mean, that limitation, it was really funny. I saw a meme, I think we're going to actually show it later, of people just being like, does he think that if you think the FBI is involved and you think that they planned this assassination, that the government's going to help you find the positive evidence for this stuff? Like, well, JFK, I guess it was all above board because you have to have positive evidence. And only the CIA can give you that positive evidence, and they've blacked out the documents, so you just can't speculate about it. I mean, it's just bonkers. I'm allowed to think
hearsay.
What I think about Erica Kirk. I think she's suspicious.
So your evidence that France wanted to kill you was that somebody told you. And how did they know that? What evidence do you have they were right? If she had positive evidence, the government told her, and then she reported to Tulsi Gabbard. Obviously, they didn't act on it because there was no evidence that it was legit. I can't stand how stupid she is. And even worse, I could deal with her being stupid, but all the other people boosting her up, giving the false illusion to the masses of retards out there that she's onto something.
Soft Point is a hunting round designed to mushroom and expand within the wound cavity and penetrate with expansion to kill an animal as effectively as possible. It's not designed to break up into tiny little pieces, and it's also not designed to fully penetrate like a Full Metal Jacket round would be.
It's designed to not pierce through all the way. And yes, when it mushrooms out, it very frequently does fragment up also. Doesn't stretch out like a freaking balloon forever. So yeah, you just undermined the whole argument. You said that a 30-06 will decapitate him, and it's got to be an exit wound. Couldn't be a 30-06. You just said it right there.
Like a, and it's also not designed to fully penetrate.
Not designed to fully penetrate. It's coming from the guy that said it's impossible that there's no exit wound.
Full Metal Jacket round would be.
50 grain Remington core lock, that's just a small jacket that goes around the actual lead piece. This thing could have split apart in air for all we know, but
that's a little crazy.
Another amazing magical bullet statement. We just can't get enough of them.
Yeah, Andrew, that's pushing it way too far. It's not going to break up in the air. Too far, dude. Also, I don't know why he said he only believes 75 to 80% that Tyler did it. I would say 95+% I think Tyler did it. Maybe even 98, 99.
Apparently, soft point rounds can just break up in the air without even hitting anything. To quote Andrew Wilson.
That's absurd, Andrew.
So,
there's the face. There's the face. That's what he always does. Ready?
Andrew Wilson. So.
Oh, I got it. That's what they do. Faces. Oh, funny face.
Either we're being disingenuous to try to manipulate a point out of nowhere, or we're really stupid and have been lying about our past expertise with firearms and know nothing about bullets. Because you can literally just Google that shit. Soft point is a hunting round designed to mushroom.
The point is, you just proved his point. They're designed to not pierce all the way through, to expand and oftentimes break up. Yeah, it's a really smug face.
And expand within the wound cavity.
Here he is attacking Nick, I guess. Let's see this.
The big boys have already abandoned Andrew. The only people that are defending Andrew at this point online still, and really from the start, are the little fish, the ones that are on FedSlop team, but not because they're like officially on the team as much as because they're like, they recognize that they want access. They want into the club. They want to be on that. They want that. They want it. And
dude, they're not inviting Nick into the club, dude. What are you talking about? This is how bad faith they are. You don't agree with whatever kooky thing they say, and then you want to be in the club. You want to be with the Jews. Police use hollow points to reduce overpenetration. Yeah, they don't want it to pierce through somebody and hit somebody else.
Seen this a lot in this industry. It goes one or the other way. Is you're either the kind of person.
Wait, hold on. How long have you been in this industry, dude? Nick's been around for a decade criticizing Jewish power. You showed up 5 minutes ago talking about Jewish power. And now you're the expert on this industry?
That you get the invitation to AmFest and you start to get invited as a speaker to events and you think,
dude, they haven't invited him to speak at any event. What are you talking about, dude? Nick and me were talking about Jew stuff 10 years ago and got banned everywhere. You just started 5 minutes ago and haven't been banned or even suppressed or demonetized a single place. What are you talking about? Total noob.
Of this, how can I get more of these invitations? Because then I get to go to the parties and like meet the cool people and the celebrities and like the hot girls and all that stuff. Or you start getting those invitations.
Nick cares a lot about hot girls. Totally, dude. Yeah, dude, he's just desperate to get it. He's totally desperate to get into all the cool kids clubs.
You go to one of them and you're like, this is kind of fucking gay. I'm not really, this is not a lot of fun. I'm going to go do my own thing again. Those are two different kinds of people. And if you notice, the big boys that are already in the club, the Benny Johnsons, the Jack Posobics, those guys, Nick Fuentes, for example, allegedly, all those big FedSlop accounts are not defending him. And they didn't come out to defend him. They're not posting about it. They're ignoring it. They're pretending it did not happen because it's not a good look. It's not good propaganda. It's a loss and they're writing it off. The only people defending
Crowder had him on. Crowder had Andrew on. Yeah, this is their theory too. They're like, Nick didn't do a show on Friday because he's hiding because Andrew lost. Like, really, dude?
Are the smaller ones that don't get they don't have a memo because they're not actually doing it because they were told to. They're doing it because they have developed the worldview that they just expect to, which is why a lot of.
I love how this guy is fully on board with what Candace says. When she hired him to work and fill in her show as a guest host when she was on maternity leave. How much did Candace pay you, dude? Yeah, Nick always takes Friday shows off. They're using this as some proof that he's like hiding or lost or something. Like, it's so stupid. Who watches this queer? A bunch of losers from TikTok and Candace Owens fans.
Candace fans defend Candace because they believe her and they like that team and they're on that team. And so they post things to try to help that team win. Which is not always.
As much as I've always hated Nick, Nick compared to this idiot, this pizza delivery boy and Candace Owens, it makes Nick seem like a grade A genius compared to how stupid and bad faith these people are. I swear.
It's faithful to truth. It's faithful to your team. And
yeah, he's gonna cook Candace and Ian tonight. I hope so.
Not ideal in either side, but the Fed slop side is especially funny because
this is the idea that it's like a team too. Choose a team, man. Talk about a false dichotomy. Hey, you're either with Candace Owens or you're with the Jews. How about like I'm on my own team and I decide I'm just calling balls and strikes, okay? If I thought Candace was right, I'd be saying Israel killed Charlie.
Because it's in service of the government and you're devoting your life for no pay, for no good reason other than that you want like more access and invitations into the government club. It's all very weird. But if you look online,
dude, he's only calling Candace and you retards because he wants to be in the government club. That checks out.
It's really interesting that the big boys aren't out here defending him. Whereas if he had clobbered her, if he had made her look like a dumbass, imagine how many of those accounts would be clipping it up, talking about it.
Most of the big boys,
yeah,
dude. I think Ian's on drugs. He's acting like he's on drugs.
Yes. The big boys have.
What is he talking about? Big boys. I don't get it.
Respond to every question I've asked you. And by the way, the other thing is like
have it your way. I want it to look like we've done everything Andrew wanted to so that people can fairly assess the situation. So you have it your way. I will not ask a question.
Totally fair with me. So are you good with her asking a question? Or
he said no.
Waiting for the clip. Okay. So you want to wait for the clip first. Okay. You guys have it in the back?
We're just waiting for the
Okay, beautiful.
I missed it. What's he laughing about?
So that people can fairly assess the situation. So you have it your way. I will not ask a question.
Totally fair with me. So are you good with her asking a question? Or
he said no.
Waiting for the clip. Okay. So you want to wait for the clip first. Okay. You guys have it in the back?
We're just waiting for the
Okay, beautiful.
This is so fake and performative. So he's saying no, he doesn't want to move on and ask his next question. He wants to pull up the clip that they were just talking about. And he acts like this is the funniest thing in the world. This is so fake. He's crying. He's crying.
I'm so glad Candace didn't break the silence here because it's just so good, dude. Oh my God, I'm like literally crying. And I've already seen this clip like 3 times.
It's fake.
They literally they go through the craziest awkward silence in like debate history. Clearly spurred on by Andrew's flummoxing discombobulation, and his team is trying to save him, but they don't actually have a clip ready, even though they're trying to save him with a clip that they should have ready. So they go silent to bring in the clip.
It's not about really saving him. It's about playing the clip of Candace to show that she was lying. It's so forced and fake, right?
And so then Candace is like, man, I'll save it. I'll ask a question. And then they kind of go back and forth for a second. And Andrew's like, no, you can't ask a question. We're going to do this by the contract, and we're going to wait for the clip. And then they just go right back.
Hold on. The thing is that Candace didn't want to play the clip because she was about to look stupid and prove that she was just lying about what she said in the past. That's why.
And then they just go right back into the awkward silence because, what? So.
Wow.
Respond to every question I've asked you.
Yeah, waiting for a clip. They're probably thinking the clip's about to start any second, so they're just sitting there waiting like, okay, where is it? All right, is it about to play? Like, if they're waiting for a clip, are they supposed to like start some small talk? So, how's the weather today, Candace? Yeah, what's so funny about waiting for a clip? Let's see, a Candace Owens fan calling for violence. Uh-oh, Christ cuck detected.
All right, guys, this is going to be more of like an unpopular opinion probably, but we're just letting them rip tonight. So
whenever somebody starts with that, they're going to say something that's extremely popular with all the conspiracy kooks. This is going to be so unpopular, but watch, it goes mega viral. Whenever somebody starts a stream like that, this is going to be controversial and not popular. And then it's like, Christians always do this. Oh, it's not popular, but Christ is king. Like 50,000 likes. Let's hear it.
With
I
all,
don't
like-
even know what he's going to say. I haven't watched this yet. Yeah, you're dissident, anti-Zionist right, everybody, says Jack Stone.
The TPUSA stuff, the cover up of 9/10, just all the stuff happening. My favorite show is Arrow. It's about a vigilante who takes down criminals, like behind the scenes. Like,
look, Israel can, the Jews and the Zionists run. They totally run YouTube, bro. That's why this guy Ian Carroll's video has 663,000 views from 1 day ago. Yeah, dude, that's totally anti-establishment. They're totally trying to shut it down. Hey, dude. Hey, but if you don't go along with this, you must work for the Jews. You just want to be in the big boy club.
like unlawfully like getting answers, interrogating people, etc. Right? So with all this stuff going on, whether it's Mikey McCoy, Frank Turek, Blake Neff, Andrew Colvett, anybody involved that Charlie's security detail that day, we're basically relying on, I guess, this upcoming Tyler Robinson trial and all this, but we could really use a vigilante right now. Like, I know that sounds like stupid, like, Mason, like, why would you say we go against the law? If we had a vigilante, like, kicking in doors, questioning these people, like, because what he did in the show was, like, he had a bow and arrow, right? So he would go to the...
So he's not going to do it. He wants some other Candace schizo to go and break into Erica's house and, like, duct tape her up and, like, say, did you kill him? I know you killed him. I know you killed your husband. That's what this guy's calling for? Yeah, very Christian thing to do, guy. Vigilantes for Christ.
People, give them a warning, be like, you have to return this money by this time, or stop selling drugs to these people, or else there's not going to be a second warning. And he has like a freaking bow and arrow, and he goes like, you have failed this city. And then if they don't listen, then he shoots them. But I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying the principle of it, of interrogating people outside the law. I don't know what I'm talking about right now, but I think I've, like, watching that show, it's my favorite show, like, because he was obviously like a hero for the city, like doing good, not relying just on the system.
Amalek saying Green Arrow is written by a Jew. Yeah, makes sense.
Right now, I feel like we're so restricted with the system, and we're just like screwed because of it. Like, obviously, like all the bureaus and companies, it's all corrupt. It's all corruption. All the politicians, it's all corruption. So,
yeah, dude, it's all so corrupt.
I'm not saying be a vigilante and go do that, but I'm saying if there was one,
I'm not saying
asking questions about
I
this.
just am, man, asking questions,
getting evidence, confessions.
Dude, yeah.
It'd probably be really beneficial right now.
Yeah,
that's just
dude.
my thought for the night. But
yeah, break into Erica's house
we
and
need
like
answers,
force her
bro.
to confess, dude. That's what we need. That'll work. He wants Erica to get a arrow in the face. TPUSA is so Zionist after Charlie left. I know, dude. Those Jews wrote that Shabbat Shalom book. That's crazy. Even Alex Jones says they're in a cult.
Special investigation committees, and I go look, and it's like memes. And then when we question, they go, who are you authorized to even engage in the holy sacrament? Only Joan of Arc 2.0, Candace. And I don't dislike Candace, but it's like the cult, like, And that's another question. I'm no rocket scientist, but I know this. She's boosted by YouTube, boosted by everything. We're blocked. Why is she boosted by the big tech?
Yeah.
Special investigation committees, and I go look, and it's like memes. And then when we question, they go, who are you?
It's hilarious seeing people that are boosted by the YouTube algorithms calling people that have been banned for talking about this stuff decade ago feds are working for Jews. Yeah, he's boosted by RT, though, that's sure. Morgan Ariel.
This has got to be one of the most humiliating debates I've ever witnessed. This moment is just pure gold.
Can we list them real quick? I'll tell you exactly which ones. We'll pull them
This
up.
is the best thing ever in the debate. This is so good. I love all these pussies that will never debate anybody on anything, trying to run their mouths, acting like the way they're trying to blow this up, making a mountain out of a molehill. So what? He didn't know the 7 charges. So what? So what? Oh, you didn't know that he's also being charged not just with murder, but with the firing of a deadly weapon? Oh, well, I guess you're wrong then. You lost.
Going to get embarrassed. You don't have to.
They're specific
up for the pull this off. They should have charged him with just
This
murder.
girl's the worst. Candace repeatedly refuses to provide evidence for her claims. Let's see this super mix.
Do you have any evidence for it?
For what? My percentage?
The fact that he didn't shoot and kill Charlie Kirk.
Yes, which I'm hoping we're going to get to all of the evidence that he feels that he has.
So then, other
Israel.
than intuition, how you feel about things, do you have any evidence Israel was involved in killing Charlie Kirk?
I have already said, and if you're watching my show in the context of what I said, this is the general sense of why people think Israel's involved.
Would you like to remind you said I could ask you about any of these things to my heart's content?
Feel free, but you do not get to structure how I'm allowed to reply or ask me why are you allowed to
I'm not structuring how you're
think.
allowed to reply. I'm just asking you direct questions.
You didn't know it was penal code 69458974? Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, well, I guess you lose. Oh, you didn't know he was also charged with obstruction of justice because he tried to hide the gun? What is the obstruction charge even for? They're debating if he shot and killed Charlie, and you're like, you didn't know about these other small minor charges too? You didn't know about this misdemeanor charge they actually added on there also? Oh, I guess you lose. Talk about being desperate to try to grab a W. His leg shaking indicates deception. No, it doesn't. Guys, you don't see it. If I had a foot cam, my feet shake sometimes too. All right? If they don't, they'd start to go numb. You got to get some movement. You got to get the back movement like the rabbis a little bit. My feet bounce sometimes too. When I'm sitting around doing nothing, when I'm having dinner by myself. Yeah, Andrew didn't know he had a parking ticket one time either. Yeah. And so what? Maybe his leg was bouncing because he was a little bit nervous. It's a very high-profile debate with millions of people watching. A lot on the line. So what if he was a little nervous? Yeah, I'm going to have to launch a foot cam for premium subscribers. My feet are literally, like, they sit here and they bounce the whole show. I'm not even kidding. My toes would go numb. And it's for blood flow, guys.
Tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people would want to know what Candace Owens' positive evidence for why it is that Israel and France were involved in the most traumatic public assassination of Gen Z's lifetime is?
That's why they watch my podcast.
So you're just going to drip to them? Like
no evidence. Oh, yeah, my podcast. You got to watch my podcast, though. You got to watch my hundreds of hours of shows that I've done on this for all the evidence. Blood flow bouncers. I know. He should have known, though, like, hey, dude, your foot's in the shot. They're seeing it bounce. It's not a good look to have it bounce in the shot. But, I don't know, he probably wasn't thinking that. He didn't know they were that far away.
It's not dripping.
Why are they not reaching out to you?
I've asked that
You guys
many
want to know
times
something
on
else?
my
You guys
podcast.
interested in my feet situation? Number one, I'm always barefoot. That's for sure. Here, you guys ready for something cool? Behind the scenes, this is what I keep my feet on. I have a foot massager, and I roll my feet on it. Isn't that cool? So it's like my foot stand / I can massage my feet while I'm doing the show. You also I roll my butt on this thing too. These things really dig into the buttocks area after you've been doing some squats. Oh, it's nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Though that I want to just directly ask you is, do you actually believe that anybody in TPUSA or Erica Kirk or Erica actually participated, had foreknowledge of, or facilitated the murder of Charlie Kirk?
I'm not going to get myself into a legal pickle here. Everything I've said is on my podcast.
How would that get you in a legal pickle? Would it then follow that somehow she's...
I love how asking her, hey, what's your proof? Like, what do you actually think? Who do you think did it? And what's your proof? Are you trying to get me in a legal pickle? Behind the scenes, under the table details. I also got a fan down there too. A tissue box. I get this from when I'm really stressed out.
Complicit in his death?
I didn't say complicit in death. You added those two words.
Okay, so what's she complicit in?
Yes. So sowing this narrative that Tyler Robinson is guilty. So you're chopping up clips. Like I said, you didn't have the confidence to come in and debate. So
what
now
does
you're
that mean?
chopping
What
it
does
up.
complicit mean? But I'm asking you, isn't it the case that there's people you've been critical of and then you've met them and you're less critical after you meet them?
I feel like if you think that she's dumb and let's just talk about your record. And that
What's the strong evidence? Just
I have
the
a
two
fan
people
blowing
who said
full
that they
speed
saw him.
right at my balls.
I'm actually
of my
all
shorts.
good with I feel like I've sufficiently answered your question about how I got
All
the
right, fair
information,
enough.
what happened next.
Yeah, it speaks volumes that she backtracked and would not stand on any of the claims she's been making for the last 10 months.
I will say.
Okay, so remember in Andrew's opening statement, he mentioned that Charlie texted his security the day before saying he's worried about the left trying to kill him. And people are saying like, oh, that's fake or whatever. Apparently she knew about that. Let's see.
I will say I was immediately refreshed by the fact that one of the first things that Erica did was she owned the lies, or rather, I guess they would cage it as miscommunications that were coming from various people at the company. Like, look, this is a company with 650 people that are employed. Everybody at this time is exceedingly emotional, and they are communicating. And no matter what somebody says on Twitter, they assume that this communication has come down from management, and that's not always a circumstance. But they owned right away, which felt great, that if you guys recall, Erica sat down with Glenn Beck. I actually missed this portion because I didn't get to watch the interview in its entirety, and we were pulling clips because a lot was coming out very quickly. But there was a portion that was going around that was viral, and it was Erica saying that she had Charlie's phone and that Charlie never texted anybody the night before saying that he thought that they were going to kill him. And that obviously reflected poorly on me because I was the one who said that he did, in fact, text multiple people the night before. And then I went on Jimmy Dore on Friday, Jimmy Dore show, and I clarified.
She knew Charlie was worried that the left wanted to kill him. And then they did. And now she says 0% chance a leftist killed him. He was never on campus.
I said, Andrew Colvett told me specifically that he was one of the people that received this text message. So I got that first person. I didn't get that from a source. I got that directly from Andrew Colvett. And then somebody who had access to Dan Flood's communications said that Dan Flood similarly received a text message. They owned that right away and explained. Erica said that
she's known all along Charlie was worried the left was going to shoot him.
She has Charlie's phone. She's looking at his iMessages. And it turns out that he, like everybody else, communicates on Signal. He communicates on Telegram. And that those when she heard me say that, they then went and looked. And yes, that what I said was true. Andrew Colvett received a message the night before, and Dan Flood received a message the night before. Now, they asked me if I had actually like a concrete a copy of what Dan Flood got the night before. And I said, no. If somebody told me what it said, which was almost exactly what Andrew said, which is they're going to kill me. Andrew did not know who they were, that he was referring to were, but they clarified that the message that Dan Flood received said the left is going to kill me. So I can't confirm that one way or the other. I have to trust them on that because I did not see that concrete message. I was told that it said they.
Well, now we know.
Obviously.
Owned, wrecked.
That's how it works.
And is there equally 100 other plausible explanations?
I think that's the reason why most people are exploring when things don't make sense.
Got it.
So yes, at the beginning of that, this is how the court process works.
So
just so we're clear,
if there's 100 other plausible explanations, then Candace, why
do you
is
land
it that
on
we
the
should go
Patsy
with this
one?
idea that it was a patsy?
Yes.
I'm not saying that we should go with the idea that it was a patsy. I am saying that there is.
I thought that was the whole.
Now she's not saying it's a patsy. Dude, this is such bullshit. I know, we're almost done. I might never cover this again, too. This is just like the rest of the, I say that every time. This is the rest of the aftermath of the post analysis. No, I promise you, no Charlie, no Erica the rest of the week. Unless something huge happens, nothing else, hopefully ever again. And like I said, Basil's coming on. Basil is coming on Wednesday and Chad Champion on Friday. So we're going to get some guests on. I'm going to work on getting Henrik and Spencer on the week after that. Cover her downfall? Yeah, we will, if there's a downfall.
Wow.
No, my whole claim was that there is more evidence that that's how it works.
And is there equally 100 other plausible explanations?
I think that's the reason why most people are exploring when things don't make sense.
Got it.
So yes, at the beginning of that, this is how the court process works.
So
just so we're clear,
if there's 100 other plausible explanations, then Candace, why is it that we should go with this idea that it was a patsy?
I'm not saying that we should go with the idea that it was a
I'm not saying that we should go with the idea it's a patsy. I'm just saying he's a patsy and it's a 0% chance that Charlie did it. Yeah, we're going to get a new shirt design, limited edition, very soon. I've been saying that for months, and I've just been procrastinating to get a new shirt for you guys to buy at knowmorenews.org. It's really annoying when people talk like this with this cadence of their voice. It's very bothersome, bothersome. Watch her concede the entirety of the debate right here.
Watch Candace Owens concede
custom
the
No More
entirety
News
of the
green
debate
ski masks available
exactly what this
soon.
preliminary was in the inverse.
That's not in dispute. What's in dispute is when you said, I'm using this as evidence that he could have been a patsy. I'm asking, how do you get the inference to patsy from that?
Because what I am saying is that it shows that somebody else had more DNA presence on that gun than Tyler Robinson did. So it is
that
plausible.
Is not what it
all they're doing, they're
said.
presenting plausibility based off of the facts. Okay, it is plausible that somebody just took his gun and put it there.
Plausible that somebody took his gun and put it there. Okay.
That's it.
He couldn't have put it there. It wasn't
that's
him that shot him on the roof and jumped off and stashed it there and then said it was his gun and the parents identified it and said it's him. No, it's somebody else took it and put it there, and the defense and him just aren't saying so. And then when he's convicted, it's going to say he's an actor and he's in on it. Well, then I guess he could have just, if he's an actor and he's in on it, then why not just have him go in there and getting on the roof and taking the shot? And then, bruh, how is this still happening? This is how bad it was, and they're acting like she won, and Andrew's career is over. I don't know. Why is there a laser shining on me? Maybe somebody wants to shoot me. Charlie Kirk. Dude, I just shined myself in the eye. I might be blind.
Works.
And is there equally 100 other plausible explanations?
And is there equally, plausibly, 100 other explanations? What's the answer? Hang on. Sorry, guys. I got to turn these little chat notifications off. 1 second.
Oh, my God, Andrew. Shut up.
Them off. Hang on. There we go. All right. So after I ask her this, is there 100 other plausible explanations? What does she say?
I think that's the reason why most people are exploring when things don't make sense.
Got it.
So yes, at the beginning of that, this is how the court process works.
So
if
there's 100 other plausible explanations,
if there's 100 other plausible explanations,
then Candace, why is it that we should go with this idea that it was a patsy?
Why is it we should go with this idea it was a patsy?
I'm not saying
anything.
that
It could have been the one-armed man. Could have been hundreds of things that killed Charlie. We don't know that it was a road mic. It could have been anything. It could have been a space laser. It could have been a drone. It could have been a trap door. It could have been an implantable device under his neck when he went to the dentist. I don't know what the shape of the earth is. I just know that there's no curve. It could be anything. I'm a trans earther.
$5 short Jimmy Doravid from live show today.
Oh, I'm sure we're going to love that, Corn Pop. That sounds great. I'm sure it's going to be super smart analysis from Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore.
we should go with the idea that it was a patsy. I am saying,
oh, That was it. That was the end of the debate.
It wasn't me, I swear. It was the one-armed man.
I don't even understand what's even controversial there. What is even controversial? That was it. Debate over. Andrew wins in 4K. Let's watch it again in case you missed it.
DNA presence on that gun than Tyler Robinson did. So it is plausible, which is all they're doing. They're presenting plausibility based off of the facts. Okay. It is plausible that somebody just took his gun and put it there. That's it.
Is there equally
that's how it works.
And is there equally 100 other plausible explanations?
I think that's the reason why most people are exploring when things don't make sense.
Got it.
So yes, at the beginning of that, this is how the court process works.
So
just so we're clear,
if there's 100 other plausible explanations, then Candace, why is it that we should go with this idea that it was a patsy? If there is,
and no, there's not hundreds of other explanations. It's either he did it or he's a patsy.
North Star Temple said
either he did it or he didn't do
Rumble. Not to glaze, but you are more of a comedian than Dyer, and I'd say Owen Benjamin as well, for sure.
Well, that's not saying much because neither of them are very funny. Who's funny? Nick is funny. Who else is funny? Who makes me laugh? I'm trying to think. Who cracks me up?
Plausible explanations, Candace. Why is it we should go with the idea that it was a patsy? Answer?
I'm not saying that we should go with the idea that it was a patsy.
Okay, then.
Wrecked.
My belief that there's overwhelming evidence that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. And 2, Candace's belief that there's overwhelming evidence that Tyler Robinson was a patsy and didn't kill Charlie Kirk.
Is funny,
Why is it that we should go with this idea that it was a patsy?
I'm not saying that we should go with the idea that it was a patsy. I am saying that there is.
I thought that was the whole defense. Your whole claim.
No, Tyler Robinson. They're going to convict him. Right? They found their patsy. They're going to make it work.
Oh, Biker says, "Oh, you're a hater." No, he can be funny too. His characters are funny. Dude, Biker, why don't you go away? You're just in here to talk shit over and over again. What kind of stick is up your ass today? Are you triggered because you're a Candace simp? Is that your problem?
Alleged shooter, you think they're a patsy?
Of course, they're a patsy. A patsy, which is what Tyler Robinson is. Tyler is a patsy. I maintain that. What we've all suspected, that Tyler Robinson is indeed a patsy. I'm not saying that we should go with the idea that it was a patsy.
Was Lance Twiggs' DNA in the rifle, as far as you know?
Prints which were found on the gun, which of course included Lance Twiggs. More evidence that Lance Twiggs simply took Tyler Robinson's family heirloom of a gun and helped the feds set him up as a patsy.
That's
more
so
of his
crazy.
DNA.
I love how we're coming up with the craziest, outlandish, convoluted theories instead of just admitting the obvious. You think that's more likely than just Tyler did it? Lance is setting him up and took the gun and collaborating with everybody, and he's a Fed, and they're saying Lance was really on the campus and stuff. I don't know how she's able to get away with all these lies.
Than Tyler's on the gun, that there is objectively more overwhelming evidence that Lance Twiggs did this crime. Lance Twiggs has his DNA on the rifle. Well, it's Tyler's rifle, but Lance's DNA is more prominent. How does that happen?
Was Lance Twiggs' DNA on the rifle, as far as you know?
We can't say that for certainty.
As far as you know?
We can't say that for certainty.
No, as far as you know.
We can't say that for certainty until we know what other the 5 sets of prints were on.
So that would be no as far as you know.
We can't say that for certainty.
There is why it is impossible for me to think that Erica Kirk is not complicit somehow.
That Tyler Robinson was 100% responsible for the death of Charlie Kirk. Let's just say she believed it with every fiber of her being.
Yeah,
believed all
Pod
the
Awful's
evidence because
funny.
she did. She just actually did.
I want to get
Would
him
it then
back on,
follow
too.
that somehow she's complicit in his death?
Leonardo,
I didn't
not
say
funny.
implicit in death. Amount of evidence that is now piling up against Erica Kirk. I've seen enough. Erica Kirk should be dragged into a police precinct. I'm at the point right now.
She thinks there's 0% evidence that Tyler did it, but enough evidence that Erica should be dragged into jail. Dude, who is listening to this woman? Who's falling for this shtick?
Erica to just drop a book like, If I Did Do It, you know, like OJ did. If I Did Do It by Erica Kirk,
The Black Widow, the CEO. I think Erica is calculated And I want to say to JD Vance, you better wake up fast, okay? That's a black widow, my friend. You will get bit. I didn't say implicit.
Black widow means a widow that killed her husband.
In death. You added those 2 words. Tyler Robinson, we can exclusively confirm to you all, drove 3 hours away
Shane
from
Gillis
Orem,
is really funny.
Utah, down to Panguitch.
Carlin's here. She says Candace won. I knew you were on Team Candace, Carlin. You're biased. She did not win, dude. She didn't. She won just because she didn't have a completely, career-ending defeat. In that sense, she won. But I mean, she didn't win one single point. What? Oh, she knew more charges than he did. So what?
Utah grabbed himself a seat at the bar.
300,000 is nothing to Candace Owens. She makes 300,000 in a week, guys.
B4CC4 Law sent $5 on Rumble. Big Tech is pushing the Candace nonsense. He was trying to argue with me earlier about what a debate is. He thinks that Andrew trying to substantiate Candace's theories is not a debate. Total L.
He really thinks the conspiracies are true? Carlin says Candace was a massive retard who offered no evidence, and she still beat Andrew. Well, it wasn't a decisive defeat of Candace, that's for certain. As much as she made a fool of herself, it still wasn't a decisive defeat. That's unfortunate.
At this steakhouse, and he ordered himself some more food.
So there's no evidence that Tyler was at that steakhouse?
I would say the receipt with his debit card number, it would be some hard evidence. I have confirmed that happened. Again, there was a literal receipt.
We never got they blurred out the name and the card number. Nothing linking it to Tyler.
There's a literal...
Yeah, maybe Big Tech will be back on CQ Radio now that he's on board with the conspiracies. He'll finally be let back into the club.
Receipt for that because, as we said, he paid with his debit card.
Is there proof that that was actually his debit card that he paid with?
No.
I think you should follow the person that is behind that story.
No, that's a no, Candace. No. They blurred out all of the info that would have tied it to Tyler because it's not Tyler's. She's such a slippery liar. And the owner of the steakhouse said there's no evidence that he was there.
The reason I'm asking you is because you always...
Even Dan Kazarian said Candace provided zero evidence? Wow. On a space last night, he said that. Well, that's good. Point. Finally, a point for Dan Kazarian. Also, he called out the Torah, I'm pretty sure. So 2 points for Dan Kazarian. It's already way ahead of a lot of other people.
Include it in your timeline.
Now updated timeline to get from Orem down to Panguitch. And as soon as he got done and bought himself a steak down in Panguitch, we broke the story that Tyler was eating a steak down in Panguitch and drives 3 hours.
She said it so many times. It's never she never verified it was real. And she said it over and over and over and over again. Dan was just on RT an hour ago. Dude, I'm telling you, Jake was on RT too. There is a Russia shill network going on of disinfo, clearly. Sneeko, Zhang, Dugan, Alex Jones, obviously Jackson Hinkle, Ron Paul. Dude, that Folk, is it Folk Institute? The Folk guy on Twitter? Dude, it's just, there's so many of these people in the Russia shill network. And we got to get a translation of that Dugan book about conspiracyology. Big Tech was simping for Carlin. He's always doing that, dude. They just need to get a room already. I'm tired. Everybody's tired of their sexual tension.
Down to Panguitch.
So should that be added in an official timeline that
it's
you give?
It's in my timeline. It's my show, and we can add and subtract what we want, and we do. If
you
we
can
get
do what
something
you
wrong,
want, sure, but I'm asking, to make sure. Should you include a thing that you know hasn't actually been verified to be Tyler Robinson's?
Yes, you should. If we're trying to build a timeline, you should.
Now you have stated multiple times that you believe that...
I love joking about Carlin and Big Tech because it makes them both so mad. But we all know I'm right.
What you want, sure, but I'm asking, should you include a thing that you know hasn't actually been verified to be Tyler Robinson's?
Yes, you should. If we're trying to build a timeline, you should.
Now you have stated multiple times that you believe that Israel's involved in the death of Charlie Kirk.
Can you give me?
Yes, we can pull up the clip.
That's what all of the evidence and all of the behavior points to, is Israel's involvement. Those of us who believe that there is mounting evidence that Israel put a hit on Charlie Kirk, I think France and Israel are involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. And I'm going to put that out there with full confidence.
Full confidence Israel did it. But then when he goes, you said that, she goes, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. See, she's a bullshitter. Walking back all of her claims and saying she did not having any evidence for anything.
Asking if you think that Israel and France were involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and you say with full confidence, I'm just asking for the evidence, or at least walk me through the mindset of why it is that you could think that with
I
evidence.
actually don't have to walk you through why I think.
Between 0 to 100, what is the likelihood that you think Tyler Robinson shot?
I don't have to walk you through or give you any evidence for anything. Oh, but you don't understand? Mic drop. I can explain it to you, but I can't help you understand it. Mic drop. Dude, I swear, I got to look it back up. E. Michael Jones said almost the exact same line to me. And it was just like, I was like, what are you talking about? I understand exactly what you're talking about. You're just wrong and dumb.
Charlie Kirk and killed him. Candace?
0%?
0%.
I'm at 0.
There is a possibility in the next few months that you may come out and say, guys, it's done. Tyler killed him.
Yeah.
So you're saying yes to that.
Yeah.
I think it's very important for the audience here that from
Without question. 0%?
0%.
I'm at 0.
Hey, Carlin. I heard a rumor. Is it true that you got all skinny and lost the weight just so Big Tech would love you? Was that your motivation in the gym? It was all for Big Tech? It's all to win over Big Tech. I'm just joking. Big Tech has a girl. Carolyn's married. I'm just joking. It's just a joke. Just an inside joke, guys. Just kidding. From Corn Pop the Bad Dude.
Crazed leftist who killed Kirk. What do you think, Jimmy? What percentage of possibility do you think it was a crazed leftist?
0. You're fucking 0.
That's the answer, Corn Pop. Speaking of the crazy...
Good job, Corn Pop. 0% chance. Dude, these guys are such frauds. There's no way they think it's 0%. 0%. Why? And they'll say that, but then they refuse to debate anybody on this. They refuse to have anybody that doesn't believe the conspiracies on the show. Complete echo chamber. Complete frauds. Kurt Metzger, total crank. Carlin has a fetish for bald guys. Well, that explains the Big Tech obsession, clearly. Corn Pop asked the question. This is good. Dude, how can these guys say 0%? He's on camera. His car's there. His DNA's on the gun. He says he did it in the Discord and the text messages and confessed to his boyfriend. The parents identified him as there. He turned himself in, and these frauds say 0% chance he did it. Who even wants to listen to these people anymore? Oh, and by the way, when Jimmy Dore was on vacation, who filled in his show? A Sputnik host, a Russian agent. The Russia Shill Network. Jimmy Dore's close friends with Stu Peters now all of a sudden. He wouldn't talk to Nick. He booked Nick Fuentes for the show, but then canceled for some reason. But then he cozies up next to Stu Peters. Yeah. Another leftist too.
Crazed leftist who killed Kirk. What do you think, Jimmy? What percentage of possibility do you think it was a crazed leftist?
0.
You're fucking 0. That's the answer, Corn Pop. Speaking of the crazy blue-haired people to find at the spot Kirk got shot, besides a pool of his blood that you think deserved
Kurt
them
Metzger,
to investigate
not
the
funny.
spot in more detail. Corn Pop, hold on. Let me break this down for you. What evidence were they supposed to find at the spot Kirk got shot besides a pool of his blood that you think deserved them to investigate?
The evidence
Are you serious? Back to Jim.
Well, the evidence that they could probably find was evidence of a shape charge device that exploded, just like when Candace got those pictures of inside the...
they're covering up the supposed shape charge, even though they found the gun and knew he was shot. Oh, but I'm sure there would have been a shape charge there. Really?
SUV transferred him to the hospital. It looked like it was a Rode microphone that had exploded. That's,
you know when Israel bragged about doing that to Lebanon?
Yeah, remember the pager killings? So it was like that. That's what they would have found evidence of that.
And also, they covered it up, so you know they would have found it, dipshit.
Would have.
What a nonsense thing. You know,
dude, these guys are 100% they thinking it was a Rode mic that exploded. 0% chance that it was Tyler. This guy is such a fucking idiot. Total retard. Totally kosher. These guys suck, dude. They suck. Why does everybody suck so bad? It's very blackpilling how much everybody sucks.
They're hiding something, or they wouldn't have covered it up.
Or they weren't hiding anything and they cleaned up the mess. There was nothing to hide, so they removed all the blood-soaked grass everywhere.
There's no other crime scene you do that with. Unless you're covering up a crime for someone. Yo, fuck Israel.
What's the big deal? That has to be a joke. Like, in some point, like, Corn Pop, I think you have to be joking. Like, you're saying, what's the big deal that they covered over the crime
Probably
scene?
is. I would assume Corn Pop is joking, yes.
It has to be, right?
Even if they didn't pave over it, they would have been like, oh, the FBI cleaned up all the stuff. They wouldn't let anybody there, right? Even if they didn't.
$5 on Rumble. Is this a troll or is he actually retarded saying Andrew is coping?
This? Give me one specific example of how Candace proved any of her theories in that debate. Big Tech says, LOL, you think that's what debates are about? He's saying it doesn't matter that she lost on the evidence and the arguments, and that doesn't matter in debates. All that matters is if people think she won, people say she won, and if they pretend like she won. So no, I don't think he's trolling. He's just saying the details and the evidence of the debate doesn't matter because most people are dumb and don't care about evidence. That's how I read that. Yeah, this is our Corn Pop over there. I love how there's so much over the... It's like, even if they didn't pave it over, you would still claim they picked up the shape charges. They swept it. They cleaned it up. Right?
Yo, fuck Israel.
What's the big deal? That has to be a joke. Like, in some point, like, Corn Pop, I think you have to
No. Are they supposed to keep it a bloody mess forever? That's the question. Okay, they put up the crime tape. The FBI went in. They had their magnifying glasses. They what are they even supposed to look for? Hey, look, we got a sample of Charlie's blood. Let's make sure it's really Charlie's blood. Like, what else are they going to look for? There was no exit wound. There's no bullet to find. Even if they didn't pave it over, you guys would all just say they removed all the shape charges. They picked up the glass from the Rode mic that exploded, that somehow was still, if it exploded and it was all over the grass, then how was it still in his shirt and fell out in a little pile in the van? Doesn't add up. Yeah, another comedian. 2 comedians. You shouldn't learn about the world from comedians, guys. Sam Tripoli, Owen Benjamin, Jimmy Dore, Kurt Metzger, Joe Rogan. Don't expect to get good, intelligent analysis from conspiratainment comedians. We'll cover this girl. The cheerleader, Hayden Panettiere, found dead. Let's hear it. I want to hear it.
All of them.
I've been waiting.
All of them. You write about a moment in your career where a friend of yours takes you onto a boat. You're led to a room which has an older man in it, and then basically told to perform sexual acts and,
Oh, yeah. Perspective completely shifted, and I realized that I was in danger. But by the time I'd realized I was in danger, I was quite literally out to sea. And it was that moment shook me.
Dead at 36.
It
She
was
died
shocking.
like yesterday or the day before.
And I was quite literally walked down, and I had been having a great time. There was no hints of anything like that happening, so it took me. I was shocked. It took me by surprise, and it was led by somebody that I had grown to trust and see as a protector and somebody who had my back. And to be walked down, down the stairs, and it was as like a surprise, presented as though it was like a surprise, and it was this very small room, and she physically put me in the bed next to this undressed man who was very famous and had his hands like this, like this was just an average day for him. This is something that happens all the time. Wow. And I waited for her to leave, and she
didn't even name names. Are people saying she was murdered because of this? Because it seems like she had issues with drug addiction, postpartum depression. But that's crazy. I wish she would have named names. Overdose was mentioned on the 911 call. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, that lion in me, that fire in me, that my hair stood on end, and I became ferocious. I was like, this is not happening. But I had nowhere to hide, and I bolted, and I hid wherever I could think of to hide on a boat. On a boat. There was no jumping off and swimming away, and there was nobody who was going to. I realized that there was nobody who.
Daywalker Jones sent $10 on Rumble. Trevor Moore was a comic genius, and going back through his stuff, I realized he was J-pilled. Whitest Kids You Know was his sketch show. I actually think he was killed over this stuff.
I'll check it out. Never heard of Trevor Moore.
Was going to be empathetic to my situation, that this was nothing new to them.
It is all of them.
It's all of them.
All of them.
All of them.
And
everyone.
Not one will be able to escape.
Dude, I don't like this guy. Too dramatic.
What is true is we had some good parties at the White House. Woo! There's
All right, that's enough. I do think they mess with Bieber, though. All right, last clip tonight, guys. Hold on. High in Church, Illuminati, Trevor Moore. Okay, we'll watch that. Only like 15 years ago, maybe. I'll check see if he has some other funny ones. High in Church. Was that the name of his show? High in Church? Good name.
I'm going to jeopardize it.
Yo, you ever learned about Jesus on weed, man?
By you going to the weekend with your cousins, I'm going to jeopardize it by you going to the weekend with your cousins that will teach you to become goyim. That's another thing they do. These fuentes say, when Rabbi Mizrahi say, look at you, you became a goy.
This guy talks about Fuentes in every sermon now?
He means a goy is stupid. No, you fool. Maybe you are stupid, but the goyim are not stupid. The Gemara says, Chochma b'goyim ta'amin. When you see a wise goy, don't be surprised. Believe it. There's millions of genius goyim. Millions. In all different kinds of wisdoms. So when I say to a Jew, look at you look like a goy, what does it mean a goy? You don't have a yarmulke, you don't have tzitzit, you have tattoos like the goyim likes to do, you eat like a goy, you don't make bracha, you eat not kosher, you desecrate Shabbat, you follow sport, and you speak like a non-Jew, you curse like a non-Jew, and that's what you became. Doesn't mean it's stupid. It could be the President of the United States, it could be a doctor, it could be a big lawyer, and they all curse. Every other word is the F word. President of the United States curses non-stop when he speaks. Include Hussein Obama, a graduate of Harvard, walking without his shirt on the beach, while the photographer is taking a picture of his belly. Do you understand? A person, Talmid Chacham, is going to let people take pictures of his belly on the beach. You understand the difference between Ben Torah to someone that doesn't care to look like an animal? Whether he's a Gentile, whether he's a Jew, you look and behave like an animal, you are an animal. People are also animals. The bodies is the same DNA like the monkeys. When you behave like a monkey and all you care about is what the monkey and the dog want, you are worse than them. You see, when a lion murders, he doesn't go to jail and he doesn't go to hell. When a human being murders, he goes to jail and goes to hell. Do you understand? So who is the worst animal? I'm going to jeopardize.
Mizrahi thinks goyim are smart. How about that? Oh, if they're righteous goy. Hey, Mizrahi, can a goy be smart if they think the Bible is fairy tales? Or is that the litmus test? Wow, 3 hours. This is the first time I looked at the clock to see how long we've been going. Almost 3 hours. What a show. I promise you, we got guests this week. We're going to cover some other stuff. Absolutely no Candace stuff. And I mean it. I really mean it this time, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you, everybody, for the big donos. Like, share, subscribe, clip the show, share the links. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.
Shout out to Evan Williams. He's my
Shout
brother
out
in
Evan
white
Williams.
Christ. Mashiach first. Hey, hey, hey. Yeshua HaMashiach. White rabbi to the goyim dog.
I got Candace fatigue too, trust me.
Yeshua HaMashiach. 12 disciples moving weight. Flipping drugs. Hey. Hey, amethyst color Eucharist. Go hair smell like frankincense. Myrrh hashish made by temple priests. I'm the great white beast of the Middle East. In the lab with midrash until it was gas. Used the Septuagint, fuck the facts. Pretended it was wrote in the past, but now the story too loose. Yeshua HaMashiach. White rabbi to the goyim dogs. Yeshua HaMashiach. 12 disciples moving weight. Flipping drugs.
Bye-bye, Hans. You're out of here, dude.
I was on the cross to be the boss. Y'all looking like sheep, goyim and lost. I'm the word manifest by men in cloth. Using passion to remember who got the sauce. Yeshua HaMashiach. White rabbi to the goyim dogs. Yeshua HaMashiach. 12 disciples moving weight. Flipping drugs. Don't believe the hype, I was white. Yeshua is a European name. My eyes are blue, and I'm 7'2". And I definitely was not a Jew. Yeshua HaMashiach. White rabbi to the goyim dogs. Yeshua HaMashiach. 12 disciples moving weight. Flipping drugs. Yeshua HaMashiach. White rabbi to the goyim dogs. Yeshua HaMashiach. 12 disciples moving weight. Flipping drugs.